It was a rough Saturday night for the San Antonio Spurs. They lose to the Knicks in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Knicks take that series 4-1. They are the NBA champions. Jalen Brunson, remarkable, named the Finals MVP. Spurs still finished with an impressive season. They finished with the second-best record in the NBA, Finals appearance, and multiple postseason awards.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness. We should be getting ready for a Game 6.
Should be.
Instead, we're talking about what is next. So happy to be back here in the saddle on The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and oh my goodness, a rough couple of games for the San Antonio Spurs on Wednesday and Saturday, and, well, they're all done.
Yeah, I mean, I really did think when I walked out of here Friday
Yep.
that we would be talking about a game tomorrow night.
Yes.
And the consistency in which this team played in the NBA Finals showed up again on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They built a double-digit lead, and they watched the double-digit lead go away.
Every single game.
It is mind-boggling, and I know Wemby is taking a ton of criticism for a variety of things.
Uh-huh.
But when you look at leads of 16, 29, 12, 12, and 14, and you only win one of those, the fact that they spent leading the NBA Finals 72% of the time, they only trailed 24% of the time, it was tied 4% of the time, and that was 0-0, I think. It is mind-boggling that this series is over in 5 games. But I'll tell you what, Jalen Brunson, and while he didn't have the greatest shooting percentage through most of the series, watching that guy take over in the second half Saturday night was something special. Wrong jersey, I get it, but Jalen Brunson was that dude.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, and you were at the game. Hell, I was watching on TV, and my mouth was open with what this guy was getting done. And it didn't matter who was on him. It made no difference who was guarding him, including Wemby. He was schooling everybody, and it was just one of those special games, quite honestly. And again, it's bad for the team you're rooting for, but when you sit back and reflect on something like that, I mean, we saw NBA greatness, finals greatness, and that's one of those performances that will live on forever. So props to the Knicks and to Jalen Brunson. I hate to say that, but we got a lot to do here in San Antonio and a few tweaks to make, but the future is certainly bright.
Yeah, we can very much go glass half full. This was such an unexpected run to the NBA Finals. These guys are so young. I've got a video on the San Antonio Sports Star socials at SA Sports Star. At the beginning of the year, I thought there was one untouchable on this team. Now there's 3. When you add in Dylan Harper and Steph Council to go along with Wemby, because there will be some moves made. Dylan Harper has turned into that guy.
He has.
And so, yes, the future is bright. While there are no guarantees, you know this Spurs team is going to be in the mix. But I want to go back to something that you just said about watching the Knicks. And I wanted my daughter to experience a finals game. She wanted to experience a finals game. And so we went. And trying to figure out, and I waited till the last possible minute to buy the tickets because I've been well educated by my friend John over at Awesome Tickets you know, wait until the market comes down. If you can stomach it, you're going to get there. And I ended up in section 114 which is over near where the Jackals are. Now, I don't know that I would, because, you know, whatever you think of the Jackals, I mean, they're going crazy the entire game. And I told him, because he was like, do you want to sit by that? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I don't want to be surrounded by Knicks fans. Well, it turns out I was surrounded by Knicks fans with the Jackals mixed in there. The guy behind me, who was also in the background of one of the videos on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram, this dude from Brooklyn, and he spent a lot of money to come to San Antonio to be there. And his cousin, who was in a different section, his cousin's dad died, had a heart attack and died during Game 5 of the 99 finals.
Wow.
And was
it before or after Avery's shot?
It was in the middle of the game. They never saw the end of it.
It's too soon, Joe. It's too soon.
No, it really isn't, because I was hearing this story and all these Knicks fans around about what it meant for them because it's been so long. The Cowboy fan in me is thinking, well, one day I'm going to be in your boat. But I still didn't want to see them celebrate. And in Section 114, the entrance there is where all the Knicks player family and whatnot, everybody with the wristband to get to the court after where it was coming down. So the game's over. I did not stick around and watch the trophy ceremony. I'm trying to get out of there, and all these people are trying to come down that section. So, you're like that salmon swimming upstream.
Yeah.
And those Knicks fans were insane. But they were all kind of right there. And, I was mad. I didn't watch the trophy celebration. I got out of there in a hurry. And then I see all this stuff about, it was great watching the Knicks win. It would have been great if it wasn't against my team. And we're going to see this historical play against our team every time, and it's going to suck every time. But Wemby taking all this crap for not shaking hands, I didn't congratulate those guys walking out of the building. Had they beaten Oklahoma City, if you're a Knicks fan, I might have sent you a congratulatory text. But you beat my team. I'm not congratulating you on a damn thing. Right? Dude, I'm salty about that.
Look, again, Wemby is still growing up. I think that's he is. And you can say what you want, and our good buddy Eloy's comparing Wemby to Draymond Green.
Well,
is that what we want Wemby to be, is Draymond Green?
All this talk about Wemby, who has become a villain in the last week, and I know there are some that shake hands. One of the greatest things in sports, in my opinion, is when a hockey playoff series ends, everybody lines up and they shake their hands.
Of course.
That is tradition. That's part of it. Basketball doesn't do that. Basketball, that game ends, and the team that wins is celebrating, and the team that loses, most everybody's getting off the court, and they're rushing on to build up a stage, right? Baseball, you have the dog pile in the middle, and everybody just goes to the clubhouse, right? There's not a normal, like a football game ends and everybody just kind of meets in the middle of the field. Basketball doesn't really have that. Coaches have the tradition of going to shake hands, and that's it. So I'm not mad at Wemby for leaving the court and not shaking hands.
I'm not necessarily mad at the guy. I just, again, it's just congratulate them. They kicked your ass. Go congratulate them. Stay out on the court and watch them celebrate. Maybe that will drive you next year to get that thing done. I don't know. And again, he wants to shake hands. He doesn't. I don't care. He can do what he wants. But Brunson came up and was trying to shake his hand. And I know they had a problem. I get it, and they probably hated each other in the moment. And I get that Wemby's a competitor and everything. Take a couple of seconds and shake a hand or two. Mitch Johnson did it. Luke Cornett stayed out there to do it.
Luke Cornett didn't do anything else in this series.
Well,
they might as well.
Neither did did anybody in the second half of that game? Steph Castle had the worst game of his career, I think. It was awful. De'Aaron Fox, everybody's been talking about that. Wemby, 3 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, seriously.
In the missed free throws. So Harrison Barnes, I saw, did. Luke Cornett did. You know what those guys have? Experience. But again, I'm not mad at him for that because I'm the same way. I've got friends that are Knicks fans. I didn't send them a text. In fact, all the ones that were texting me did not get a single response, not even the middle finger emoji. Now, had Oklahoma City been there, I probably would have sent them a text, and I'm happy that your team won. but you beat my team. I get it. I'm not, of all the things to be mad at, that ain't it.
Now, there are a lot of other things to be mad at or disappointed with, and I think there's a big difference. You can be mad in the moment, but reflecting on it, the weird thing is that game on Saturday, you're watching it and you're going, how the hell again? There's no way. And by the way, it wasn't just one double-digit lead the Spurs blew in that game. It was three.
Three of them.
3 separate times the Spurs had double-digit leads, and they blew all 3 of them. That's the inexperience we've been talking about the entire playoff series that finally reared its ugly head. And I even tweeted that out. To me, rule number 1, lesson number 1 of this playoff run, learn how to close games. Because the Spurs don't know how to do that because they take 3-point shots, quicken a shot clock, and miss. And it allowed the Knicks to get back in the game every single time.
It did. But you know what? Their players, Jalen Brunson, OG, they made clutch plays. You know, it's interesting. We had P.J. Carlesimo on Friday, and I asked P.J. that same question. Why are they doing that? And P.J. compared it to, I don't want to put words in his mouth, when a football team goes into a prevent defense. If they would have done anything different than run their offense. He said, now, there were some shots that they took that he didn't like, but he didn't mind them staying in their offense because they didn't want to change what they normally do. And I was like, well, at what point do you? At what point do you say, you know what? A 3-point attempt here with 18 seconds on the shot clock is probably a bad idea because you've got, I don't know, a 29-point lead on the Knicks. You shorten the game. You use all the shot clock. I don't care if you miss, but you take 20 seconds off the clock before you fire up the 3, not 5 or 6 seconds. And he said, you know, the mentality was keep your foot on the gas pedal. But he didn't like some of the shot selection, but he didn't mind what Mitch was doing because if they would have tried something differently, generally that backfires. I don't know. But
well, I mean, at this point in time, though, when you blow double-digit leads in 4 straight games, I think it's okay to maybe change up. What have you got to lose at that point in time? You've already blown 3 of the 4 leads in a series. I don't think it's. I think it'd be okay maybe to switch things up a little bit, do something different. Again, that Game 5 doesn't bother me near as badly as Game 4. Game 4 was a complete choke job and a disaster by every single player on that floor, every single coach on that bench.
Yep,
that is an embarrassing disaster. The fact that they were able to come back and play as well as they did in Game 5 surprised the hell out of me, quite frankly, and I was thrilled with it. I'm thinking, you know what, they're going to sneak this thing out and have an opportunity to go back to New York and get this thing done, and then one blown lead, another blown lead, another blown lead. And again, not taking anything away from what Jalen Brunson did because he was spectacular, but one thing I want Wemby to learn, and if he's going to be the face of the NBA, the MVP, and all of those things, then he needs to learn how to score when it matters.
Yep.
And in Game 5, he did not. The best offensive player on the floor for the Spurs was Dylan Harper. Now, Wemby's always going to be the best defensive player, but he was not in Game 5. It was Dylan Harper.
Who also missed a couple of free throws late.
He did.
I mean, it just, as a team, collectively, they went ice cold. And bad turnover after bad turnover after bad turnover. You know, their fourth quarter scoring, not ready for the moment. I mean, clearly. And some of it, credit the Knicks, but some of it was just bonehead plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while we look at some of the young players, De'Aaron Fox, he's the veteran guy. Now, while he doesn't have finals experience and a ton of playoff experience, his basketball IQ, his basketball experience should be a lot higher. And again, the end of Game 4 when they blew the 29-point lead, they didn't lose because De'Aaron Fox made the poor basketball decision, but they didn't win because of that decision. A lot of things led to that moment, but there was still time to salvage that, and he made the wrong basketball decision. And as Antonio Daniels told us on the Blitz last week, what really bothered him was he doubled down in the locker room afterwards saying, I thought I could have outrun OG, not say, yeah, you know what? I should have done something different.
And he should have. He had a horrible final series. He did. And we need to talk more about De'Aaron Fox and what the Spurs' future plans are with him. I've seen already on our YouTube page, and we talked about this, Jason, that he doesn't have the Spurs on his Insta anymore.
Apparently, he's unfollowed the Spurs on Insta.
What does that mean?
Oh,
nothing. We'll talk about it. We continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Summer's hottest deals are officially here at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a $369 a month lease payment on a 2026 Silverado 1500 Custom. Right now, 0% APR for 60 months on any 2026 Silverado 1500. Or get 2.9% financing on the 2026 Traverse or Trax LT. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes from Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's smart.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Super Paint, Super Deck, and Woodscapes products June 12th through the 22nd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
The rest of the world, they call it football. This is America, though. The World Cup is soccer. And Underdog, that's your spot to be all in on every match. 48 teams, 104 games, 39 days, one nation, Underdog. Guys, you make higher or lower picks on goals, assists, shots on target, and you could win big money. Anyone who plays is automatically entered for a shot at $25 million. 25 people are going to walk away with $1 million each if the USA wins it all. And nothing will get you into a game like having some action on Underdog. I watch games all the time. I don't think I know anything about it. I get some Underdog action down, and I am suddenly glued to the television. Download the app today. Use promo code Alamo to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pledge.
Send those
pledge.
complaint emails to one James
That's
Pledger.
James. I'd rather hear the dude singing "Go Spurs Go" or what was the other? What's the song?
Go Spurs Go!
Yeah, this one is in the trash can. Eric Corgi.
Yeah, Corgi.
No treats for that dog for a week.
Yeah, he had a bad finals too, didn't he? Oh, hey, everybody. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. Oh, dude. I didn't even say I'm sorry, man. Tom Guerrero on our YouTube says Bob Mills is happy.
Oh, son of a crap. Thanks, Tom. I just realized I don't get free furniture.
Damn it.
Furthest thing from my mind, to be honest.
Oh, Minix, I'm sorry, dude.
Dang.
Oh, it's kind of funny.
Is it?
Well, for me, because I didn't buy any furniture from old Bob.
Well, I was going to buy furniture with the chance that it could be free. Son of a...
Well, you took a chance, Minix, and well, there you go. Tom, you like to pull wings off butterflies too, buddy, or what?
Probably.
Oh, my goodness. All we can do is laugh.
Dude,
I think,
friend
right?
this message. Give him radiator water. I'm not sure what that applies to, but Tom, go drink some radiator water. Son of a...
Oh, my goodness. Crap. Well, I feel bad for you. I'll get over it, though, but I feel bad for you.
No, you don't. Hey, it's your fault. I mean,
my fault.
Well, you came back to the States and they lost.
Well, dude, I mean,
you left and they split while you were gone.
Let me tell you what, and I will say this. I had so much fun watching games 3 and 4 in this little sports bar they had at the resort we were in, because it was about half and half. There were a lot of Spurs fans there and obviously a lot of Knicks fans too. So obviously game 3, man, we were celebrating. Shots for everybody.
Yeah.
And then game 4, I needed shots just to get over the sickness of that blown 29-point lead. Awful. Awful.
Uh-huh. You know, I can't even blame you because both of us made videos at halftime. Moving on, it's going to be 2-2.
Oh, dude, yes, we did. Both of us counting our chickens before they hatched.
Well,
sure.
nobody expected a 29. At least in mine, I'm like, hey, I know the Knicks are going to make a run, but, you know, nobody can blow a lead like this.
Well, yeah.
Hold my beer.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that was hard to watch, the second half of that game. Second half of Game 5 was hard to watch. I'll be honest with you, but with the exception of Game 4, I mean, this series was pretty damn good. Could have gone either way in every game. I guess you could say that about all 5 of them, but my goodness, it was a pretty good final series. Obviously, we're disappointed because it didn't go our way, but it wasn't a bad final series. I mean, the games were tight.
Dude, every game was fantastic. And I've had some friends of mine that work in the business, and I've been on their shows in the last week, and those that didn't have a dog in the fight thoroughly enjoyed a series that was so back and forth and in some ways dominated by San Antonio. But it only lasted 5 games. But when you take a 1-point win, a 1-point win, a 4-point win, another 4-point, I mean, you can't ask for more than that if you're a sports fan. And I think that is the hardest part about rooting for the Spurs and being on the losing end. The what ifs. This is an offseason where every Spur fan, and I hope every Spur player and coach, what ifs themselves to death. Because the Knicks won. I'm not taking anything away from the New York Knicks. They made plays down the stretch. The Spurs did not. But even Wemby at one point were like, we dominated and we lost. And when you look at the numbers from Elias Sports Bureau that show that the Spurs led for 74% of the series, yet only won one game, I mean, it almost feels like it's impossible that you played that well and led for that many minutes, but out of 5 games, you only got 1 win.
Yeah, it seems improbable, quite frankly. And again, look, in the NBA, a 15-point lead or less, okay, I get you. It's at 29 points. Just imagine if the Spurs hold on to that and they win that game and don't blow that lead and blow the Knicks out, and they make that a 2-2 series, I think we're talking about the Spurs with an opportunity to win tonight. I really do. I think that changed everything. And again, I was impressed by the way the Spurs came out in Game 5 because, quite frankly, I don't know how they did it after that disaster. But they flushed it. They came out and they played good basketball. Most everybody played good basketball in that game, but and had a chance.
Well, and that's it. I mean, coulda, woulda, Game 1. Even though they lost that one by 10, that was a 1-point game with just over 2 to play. You look at the way Game 2 ended, and the mistakes that Wemby made, that bad pass, all of that.
Yeah.
How do they recover from that? Well, they win Game 3. Game 4, how do they recover? Game 5 starts, and, man, they said all the right things on Friday's media availability. I mean, that was Friday's show, was what was the body language? They didn't look like they were defeated. They looked confident. And the way that game started, I mean, it was there. And as Wemby said, the margin for error in the finals is so small.
One of many things I learned is the margin of error is very, very thin. Our domination stints are absolute. We absolutely dominated for most of the series. But our errors, our mistakes, are punished so hard that we can't have ups and downs like this so much, The ups are okay. The downs is the reason we lost.
Well, yeah. and again, another great lesson for not only Wemby, but for everybody. In the finals, you've got to play your best for 48 minutes.
I think that's compared to anything before. This is the biggest lesson of my life, the biggest learning moment. I can't tell exactly what the lesson is, but we're learning from that for sure. I'm learning more than any other time in my life before.
He said all the right things. He knows what the lesson is, trying to articulate it. It's the one time I heard him say, I'm not really sure how to say this in English, but. And the drive, the field, knowing that he's got to get his body ready to play 100 games.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The little mistakes that were made down the stretch. This is going to fuel the offseason.
It's painful, it's painful. But I'm not running away from that. But I'm using that to fuel me. I'm sure all these guys you named, they're not satisfied with being eliminated in earlier rounds or not making the playoffs. And I'm not satisfied with not winning. But as I said, this is the biggest lesson of my life. And as a team, there's no better experience than what we just lived.
He's exactly right. There is no better experience, and they will learn from this, not only in the finals, but everything that they went through to get out of the West. They're going to learn from this, and they're going to be better for it and know what's coming. When you get to the final, look, this team didn't have a clue that, I don't know, the officials swallowed their whistle for both teams. I'm not blaming the officials here, but that's what happens in the finals. It was that Game 5 might have been that was a Cowboys-Redskins game. Are you kidding me? That thing was rough and tumble.
As it's been pointed out by a couple of people, had the Spurs won that game, there's a really good possibility that Victor is suspended for that game, for that closeout on Jalen Brunson where he put his leg out.
As he should be.
And that wasn't called. But they did let a lot of things go. At times it felt ticky-tack, but that was extremely physical in that nature. And, we kept talking. You got to have the playoff pain before you can get there. Now, this young team, They cruised to the NBA Finals, and I say cruise, but Oklahoma City, they got there, and then it was why not, right? I mean, they don't know any better. And you look at the Knicks over the last couple of years, the playoff pain that they've gone through. And Mitch Johnson after the game saying, it just shows we weren't ready.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, but the simple consistencies, we didn't deserve to win the games. There's a lot of level of execution. There can be rebounding. There can be end-of-game details. There can be starting the game where you get the lead and then you don't sustain that. But NBA games are long. It happens during the regular season, too. It's just everything's much more on stage during the finals when everybody's watching. And we weren't ready to win an NBA championship. The better team won. We did a lot of good things, and we didn't finish the job, and that's what it is.
And it's great what he said, and he's absolutely correct, and that's the way to handle it. The better team won, look, because they won.
Yep.
So they're the better team, and they're holding up the trophy, and that's what's happening. And I've heard a lot of this, Minix, and I'm curious to hear how you feel about this. I don't know how many. Oh, well, that was a great. Nobody expected this. It was a great. They were in the finals. The hell with what they were supposed to do or expected to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed and pissed off that they didn't win. I don't give a damn how much they overachieved this year. They made it there. They were there. It was within reach, and they didn't get it done. So hopefully they do learn from that. And you're absolutely right. Every team goes through heartbreak before they see glory.
The idea, and I'm seeing a lot of these comments on our YouTube page, which you can access through sasportstar.com, or if you're on YouTube, search San Antonio Sports Star. Obviously, there's a whole lot of Fox has to go, and we'll get into that. Plenty of time for that.
Yes.
I think there's two things can be true at the same time. The raw emotion of being pissed off that they lost in the NBA Finals, in which you feel like they should have won every game. I mean, the New York Knicks might be the first team in history that says, all right, we're down 12, right where we need to be, and let's go play.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody seems to have a game plan that says, all right, let's get down double digits early and fight our way back. Yet they were able to do it in every damn game of this series. And when you feel like the Spurs gave away those games more so than the Knicks took them, although both had to be there, the Knicks made some incredible plays down the stretch to win every one of those games while capitalizing on San Antonio mistakes. That 29-point comeback, Jalen Brunson made some shots. OG, the incredible tip. I mean, that last shot Jalen Brunson took, I'll take all day. It got the right bounce off the rim, and OG, nobody boxed out, able to clear in and get the perfect tip. If that ball would have bounced to the left or to the right, then, all right, they blew a 29-point lead but survived. And so it's fair and I think okay to be angry at the way they lost the series and be hurt that they lost an NBA Finals, but also be very optimistic about the future when you look at Wemby is 22 and Steph Castle is 21 and Dylan Harper is 19. There are no guarantees, but they're going to be in the mix. And I believe I saw the stat. It's happened 10 times in NBA history that a team lost the finals and the next year won the championship. The last was the San Antonio Spurs.
Yep.
Right? What have we had now? 8 different champions, right? It's 8 straight years there's been a different champion.
Yeah,
no
correct.
repeat winners.
Yes.
And 10 times in the history, a team that lost in the finals one year, the very next year, they were hoisting the trophy. So there's reason to be very much glass half full while also still being pissed off in the raw emotion of they lost an NBA Finals. And, it's not like Cleveland. It just got steamrolled in the Eastern Conference Finals where you question yourself whether or not you should be there. The Spurs' mistakes are the reason the Knicks are celebrating. And again, not taking anything away from the Knicks. They went out and they capitalized on the mistakes. They took advantage, and Jalen Brunson was just that dude this entire series. Wemby needs to learn how to be that dude when it matters most.
I kept waiting for Wemby to just take over the game, and that never happened. Jalen Brunson, in fact, did. And so Wemby, you're exactly right, needs to learn how to do that. Let's talk some more Spurs basketball because, well, with the De'Aaron Fox talk, everybody's there. But if you listen to people around the country, Victor Wembanyama has gone from hero to heel. Let's talk about that when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I've got great news for you. DraftKings Sports is now live in all 50 states, and yes, that means us right here in Texas. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. It is group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. All the excitement right in the palm of your hands because DraftKings Sports is now live in Texas. The biggest stage right in the palm of your hands. New DraftKings customers sign up with code 941SportsStar. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's code 941SportsStar. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim. Issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
'Twas the night before Father's Day, and all through the house, Dad slept in his recliner, completely passed out. The TV stayed on, volume low, soft, and slight, as Dad dreamed of gifts from Academy, the kind he'd like. Of a Turtlebox speaker with the whole day ahead, no plans, no errands, just Blackstone's lit red. Titleist golf balls for an easy swing. Magellan Outdoors, take on anything. Because tomorrow's not just Father's Day, you see. It's Dad Christmas at Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Fun can't lose.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Kohl's Father's Day gifts are so good, Dad won't be able to stop bragging about them. To his friends, to his barber, to the server who did not ask. He'll even brag to you, the person who literally bought it for him. From comfy polos to stylish shoes and more, plus 20% off across the store. Get gifts Dad'll be talking about for months at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. You've been warned. Select styles. Offer ends June 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, basketball season's over. You know what? One thing will make us feel better. Football. Let's start talking it, baby.
Football, baby. OTA's around the corner. Is Pickens ready to go? We're talking the Cowboy defense, too. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Is that a James Bond movie theme song? Oh, my goodness. Nice. A lot of comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. We'd like to invite you to comment there as well, whether you're upset, you're okay with it, it turned out the way it should, they overachieved, whatever you want to say, nothing is out of bounds here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix. Happy to be back.
Absolutely. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Your good long vacation.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice.
I can't wait.
I know. See, you're out of here. You guys are going to have to suffer with me the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Minix.
Apologies.
He's checking out on us.
You know, it's always too soon, but never too soon. What needs to happen? one of the YouTube comments right now, as soon as Wemby gets his help like David Robinson, then he can play the way he wants.
That's a good point.
And that is true. I mean, it is clear and obvious, and we've talked about this a lot throughout the season, about deficiencies in the roster. They need front court help. Luke Cornett's been fantastic, but clearly not up to the task when they got to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. Mason Plumlee, what's the point? And, there are Kelly Olynyk, Harrison Barnes. Those two guys alone are around 33, 35 million or something. Both of those are off the books. There's a lot of money that the Spurs are going to have. It'd be curious to see what they do and who they want to come back. I'm looking at the Spurs contracts on Hoops Hype.
Yep.
And, Julian Champagnie, team option for $3 million. That guy's earned a raise. But at least right now he's at $3 million next year. I mean, why wouldn't you pick that up? But I wouldn't be surprised if he got a deal. Jeremy Sohan's money comes off the books next year. So, Olynyk at 13, Harrison Barnes at 19. Biyombo's not on the books for next year. So they're going to have some money to be able to go spend.
Your boy Riley Minix is not on the books either. You're going to lose a family member.
He was only making 170.
I'm just saying, you might be heartbroken.
That's dinner. Well, the dude never added the other N in Minix, Minnix. So, I mean, when you look at it, and De'Aaron Fox's new deal kicks in. So he's going to go from making $37 million, I'm about to piss you off, to $51 million, and then $55, and then $59. I don't know that that's tradable, to be honest.
It's not.
And also, I don't know if the Spurs want to trade him. But Dylan Harper is got to be the starter next year.
But how do you sit a guy that's making that much money? I mean, in all sincerity, and I agree with you. Dylan Harper has got to be more involved. He's got to be in that starting lineup. And props to Devin Vassell the other night for actually saying that on the podium, that Dylan Harper got a little upset with his playing time.
Tremendously proud of both of them, starting with Carter and him not getting minutes in the beginning of the season, to going to the G League, to coming out here and changing games and making an impact and just trusting the process. He's going to be a special player. I know how hard he works, so he's going to be a really, really, really good defensive player. Offensive player, he's going to be a really good two-way player. Dylan, I think we all knew he was talented. I don't know anybody, if anybody knew he was this talented, probably besides himself. He was upset with playing time and different roles that he was in. But when we needed him most, he stepped up. And we have a star in the making. And I know that he's going to put so much work into the offseason. It's not just offensively, but defensively. He's made a lot of plays. He's grown so much. And what is he, 20, 21 years old? I mean,
19.
The sky's the limit for him. So I'm just really proud of our rookies. They stepped up, and to be called, their number to be called in the NBA Finals shows the growth and the trust that the coaches have into them.
Well, and maybe not enough trust is the only criticism I would have, because I think if Greg Popovich would have been the head coach on Saturday night, De'Aaron Fox would have been on the bench, and Harper would have been out in the game the majority of it. And I'm a Fox fan. I like De'Aaron Fox. But he was just not having it the other night. And at some point in time, you can't be you're worried about what he's going to think or what people are going to think. Doesn't matter. Pop never did that. You played like dog poo, then you were on the bench. And that's what should have happened with De'Aaron Fox. He could not hit a shot. I mean, there's one point in time, Minix, I'm tweeting out going, can you please just stop shooting?
Well, and when he wasn't missing shots, he was turning the ball over. And again, to your point, let's go back in time. 2003 NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. A young Tony Parker benched for Speedy Claxton, right? Whether it's contract, trust, I want to dance with who brung me. That was a constant theme last week here on the Blitz about Dylan Harper's playing time and Mitch Johnson. And look, Mike Brown has won Coach of the Year twice. And I know a lot of people seem to bag on Mike. He's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, but he outcoached Mitch Johnson, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah, he was coaching circles around him. I mean, when they went small the other night, Mitch didn't know what to do. And again, the plays that they were running or not running or whatever they were doing, calling timeouts, I mean, all of that. Mitch Johnson did a hell of a job this season. He didn't do a hell of a job in the NBA Finals. I say that. They blew a 29-point lead, and I maintain if you've got a double-digit lead late in a game and you lose, that is on the coach for not stopping the bleeding and not drawing up plays that your team can execute. It to me starts with the coach. And so as great of a year that Mitch Johnson had in his first year as a head coach, he got his team to the NBA Finals. But he shoulders, to me, a ton of the responsibility for what went wrong in this series, whether it were in-game adjustments, just stopping the bleeding during runs. That said, the play where Wemby had the turnover in Game 2, they don't call timeouts in that situation. All of us can disagree or agree on what you should do in that situation, but at least, excuse me, Mitch was consistent. You go to the end of Game 1 against Minnesota, no timeout there. The difference is you were down. This game you were tied. The worst that happens is you go to overtime. If you call a timeout and run a play and you don't score. Not calling a timeout led to a turnover and a loss.
Well, and again, we can dissect what Mitch Johnson did wrong, and he did a lot, and I think he's going to learn from this too. I just want to react to a comment that Fred Villarreal made on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, saying Parker was 21 years old and Speedy Claxton was a veteran. This would have been turned around. Fred, it's not hard to see. I don't care how old anybody is, if they're not producing, if they're not making shots, if they're a detriment to your team, and the other guy is simply playing out of his mind. I mean, to me, it's just simply common sense.
You go with the hot hand. You don't worry about hurting somebody's feelings or, well, he's a veteran guy. Oh, he's making X amount of dollars. I can't put him on the bench. Unless there's some sort of order from up above that Mitch Johnson couldn't do that, and I can't imagine that being the case. The reality is, and that's the more frustrating part of this whole deal, we talk about this young, inexperienced team. It's the Spurs veteran player that was making a vast majority of the mistakes. Wemby made his, Harper missed free. I'm not saying it was all on De'Aaron Fox, but De'Aaron Fox as a veteran player should have been the calming force and the one making the right plays, not what we saw there. Now, granted, he doesn't have finals experience, but he's been in the league long enough. And at this point, I don't care about your feelings, but when I see the mistakes that we're making, the bad turnovers, the bad passes. Now, I will say this for De'Aaron Fox, and I said this the other night on ESPN Radio in defending him. That guy's playing hurt. There is no way in hell he is anywhere near 100% after suffering a high ankle sprain in the second round.
Which is all the more reason, if he's not playing well, to get him out of the game.
Exactly. But I will give him credit for playing through the pain. I got to imagine regular season basketball, he's not out there. And at the same time, if you're on a bad wheel, why are you trying to outrun OG at the end of a game, especially when you see him going up for that layup? There's no burst. There's no lift in that ankle because it's sore. I will give him a ton of credit for trying to play through the pain and not being near 100%. But at some point, you're hurting the basketball team. I know you're not going to say, Coach, take me out.
Right.
But your coach has to have the balls to say, you know what? We've got to go with a hot hand here, be the mature player and a good teammate, and go sit down.
Well, and look, and I agree with everything you said there, but with that Game 4 disaster, that wasn't just De'Aaron Fox. What I know everybody's saying, if he would have just done this or that, they still would have won that despite how bad. But there were a lot of players that made a lot of dumb mistakes as the Knicks came back from 29 points down to win that game. So, yes, I agree. He should have done a lot of things different, but a lot of guys should have done a lot of things different in that respect. I'm just saying, if the one guy's playing better than the other guy, it just seems to me like you go with the guy that's playing better. And to me, Game 5, Dylan Harper was the best offensive player on the floor wearing a San Antonio Spurs uniform.
And seeing some comments like Frank on YouTube, Spurs should never have extended him, should have waited till these moments. I disagree with that 100%,
I do
Frank.
too.
And again, it's easy to have this kind of 2020 hindsight. They made the trade for him. He wanted to come here. That was a big trade for the San Antonio Spurs. And when they made that trade, they had no idea they were going to be in the lottery, nor did they have any idea that they were going to be able to draft Dylan Harper, right? So keep that in mind. Dylan Harper is here, and he came after the trade for De'Aaron Fox. And as soon as you made the trade for De'Aaron Fox, you knew you were going to extend him. And Dylan Harper in his rookie year, far better than, you just heard it from Devin Vassell, than anybody expected him to be this soon.
Yes.
So you got to keep in mind, this is a let's call it a problem for the San Antonio Spurs front office. Let's call it a RPP. This is rich people problems that the Spurs are dealing with. De'Aaron Fox was brought in to be the running mate with Wemby.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then, oh, wow. Now we got Dylan Harper. Now we're guard heavy. What are we going to do?
Go back to Game 7 in the Oklahoma City series. De'Aaron Fox was a hero of that game.
Yes, he was.
So, I mean, people are quick to forget that. And again, I'm not taking it for De'Aaron Fox. He had a horrible final series. He just did. Whether he's hurt or not, it remains to be seen, and I guess we may or may not ever know. But Fox isn't going anywhere. He will be here next year. And anybody that wants to trade him, I get it. I understand your feelings, but he's not going anywhere. He will be the point guard next season when they kick off the season.
Now, if the Spurs could find a way in a trade partner, I don't know how many people would be mad, but I just don't see with that contract and the moves that they made, and you know how this Spurs organization is. They are loyal. And De'Aaron Fox worked his way here. The situation changed when they were able to draft a Dylan Harper. But to me, there are three untouchables on this team: Wemby, Harper, and Steph Castle. Everybody else, if you can find a trade partner, whether it's a Vassell, a Keldon Johnson, just won Sixth Man of the Year, probably the most loyal of all Spur players. And it's not that I want to see him go, but we just saw what this team needs to do and where they need to get better. And if you've got to make a trade to be able to do that, I would trade a Keldon Johnson for a Larry O'Brien every day of the week.
Well, look, Keldon Johnson's a very tradable piece right now. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I think Devin Vassell proved himself as a quality player in this playoff run, and I would hate to see Devin Vassell go anywhere. I'll be honest with you. I understand what you're talking about, and if you can get something of value, but the Spurs, keep in mind, still have a lot of they've got a lot of draft picks. Now, I've seen some mock drafts where they're going to do what the Spurs normally do with those second rounders and draft and stash some of those guys from Europe. But we'll wait and see, and we'll talk about the draft, obviously, which is 1 week from tomorrow. But the Spurs do need some pieces, and they're going to have some money to go out and play in the free agent market. And I think that's where they're going to get some players that can help this team right away, immediately. And that's where I think they'll go. And I think, to me, it starts with a big man. Because Wemby, obviously, he either doesn't want to, he's not physical enough, or a combination of the two to play inside. And I think Shaq O'Neal put it best. I heard him today. Wemby's got to play inside. I mean, the man is 7'4". Nobody can guard him inside. And if he'll get an inside game like that, he will be simply unstoppable.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens, and obviously we're going to talk a lot about it. By the way, did you mention Tiago Splitter got a new job?
Tiago Splitter got a new job.
How about that? He's going to be the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, and he is probably celebrating harder than the New York Knicks today to get the hell out of Portland.
Good for Tiago.
Yes.
Although, as it was brought up last week while you were on vacation, after a 29-point meltdown, that the one thing that the Spurs don't have on their bench, Mitch Johnson and his staff, they don't have one of those former head coach types.
True.
And not that Tiago has a ton of experience as a head coach, but we know there's going to be changes to the staff with Sean Sweeney now off to Orlando. Maybe they need to get that guy in that has been there to help Mitch out a little bit more so than maybe what you can have with Greg Popovich from above, but somebody on that bench. And I even mentioned last week, Spurs assistant job probably pays more than what Portland wants to pay their head coaching job.
You're probably right.
Bring him home because he seemed to really fit at home in San Antonio when he was here in the first round coaching the Portland Trailblazers. I'm happy for Tiago Splitter, but I'm now, of all the things you're looking at, who does Mitch Johnson get for his staff to replace Sean Sweeney, and is Sean taking anybody from San Antonio with him to Orlando?
That's a good question because Sean's probably already moved on. He's in Orlando right now getting ready for what he's got to do there. So, yeah, Spurs have got a lot of decisions to make. There's no question about it, and some tweaks. But I think their big three is here, man. I really do, with Wemby, Castle, and Harper. And you add to that bunch some role players like Devin Vassell. The future's bright. There is absolutely no question about that. I've got a problem, and I hope that maybe you guys can help me out.
Uh-huh.
What's her name? Monica McNutt?
Yeah.
She works for ESPN?
She does.
Uh-huh. Why is she working for ESPN and wearing a Knicks hat in the locker room?
Well, because she's on the Knicks radio broadcast. She's the color analyst for Knicks radio.
Okay, so it's out there that she's a Knicks fan.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Right.
It's like Mike Breen is the television announcer for the New York Knicks when he's not doing national games on ABC or ESPN.
All right, okay, fair enough.
Everybody knows that,
well, there
except
you go.
Joe.
See, I knew you guys. I guess everybody knows. A lot of things everybody apparently knows
I mean,
that I
you saw
don't.
Stephen A. wearing a Knicks hat on TV this morning.
Oh, I get that, but Stephen A. wasn't in the locker room interviewing people.
Well, he was.
He was?
Yeah, he was down there celebrating like he won something. Him and Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet and, Spike Lee.
Sydney Sweeney.
Dude, I saw her in person.
Holy cow.
Oh, my God. Well, I sent you the photos.
I know. I saw it.
Uh-huh. That was the best-fitting Knicks shirt I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sure the blue jeans weren't bad either. We're going to talk a lot more Spurs basketball, but unfortunately, there are no more games to be played. But a lot to talk about in the interim, no question about it. Speaking of Monica McNutt, apparently the Swifties are upset with her. I'm a Swiftie.
This is last week's news.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Dude.
Where have you been? On a beach in
What do you
Mexico?
mean last week's
drunk?
news? I get it, but Jalen Brunson came to her defense after Game 5,
of course,
which I believe was Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about
All
it. We
right.
continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I hear there's been a lot of rain in San Antonio. Last night was insane, absolutely. Look, again, you know what that affects? It affects your roof. That's what it does. And look, if after all of this rain, and it doesn't look like there's any end in sight anytime soon, according to my handy-dandy weather app. So you might want to get that roof checked out. And I hope you're not seeing anything bad like leaks or whatever, because, look, you got to get these things checked out before a small problem turns into a big problem. And the folks to call are Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They're a great company, local company, family-owned company. They've been in business since 1983, so that should tell you everything you know about the reputation of Stevens Roofing. Get them out there. Give them a call. They're going to send a team out to your house. They'll inspect your roof. They'll do it for free. And they'll let you know if everything's okay or if there's a problem that needs to be addressed. But either way, give you the peace of mind when you go to sleep tonight and those thunderstorms roll in that nothing bad is going to happen. Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Coaches, dads, moms, working parents. Ever try taking a work call while the kids are running wild through the house? There's finally a better way to work and parent. Introducing Co-Play Cove, San Antonio's first co-working plus childcare experience designed for modern families. Grab coffee, answer emails, take meetings, or just breathe for a minute while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Learn more now at Co-Play Cove and visit the events page today for upcoming Father's Day activities.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This World Cup season, there's only one place to experience every USA match with fellow fans: Social Spot in San Antonio. Join them for the ultimate World Cup watch parties featuring giant screens, delicious food, tasty snacks, ice-cold beer, and the electrifying atmosphere of soccer's biggest tournament. Bring your friends, wear your red, white, and blue, and cheer on Team USA every step of the way. Catch all the action at Social Spot, 930 Broadway. Social Spot and San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the 2026 World Cup watch parties. Don't miss a minute of the excitement.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs, you can rest easy. They are the betting favorites for next year's title at plus 250. They're followed by the Thunder, Celtics, and then the Knicks. Former Spurs player and Trailblazers interim head coach Tiago Splitter has a new gig today. He's finalizing a deal to become the new head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And this one for you, Minix. The Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on a Mellow Monday. We'll be giving away a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at some time during this fine program. Thanks for spending a little time with us on this Monday. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and, well, happy to be back. It's kind of a dreary, coming from sunshine and pools and beaches to thunderstorms.
Well, I mean, welcome home, Joe.
Thanks.
Dude, those storms last night, I think it was about 1:30 in the morning, and I've got a new dog.
Oh, man.
Now, this dog has been in the family for, my mom got her shortly after my dad passed, so around 6 years. And I've never heard that she's afraid of storms. And when my mom passed away last month and I brought her home, it's rained. Dog's not fazed by it. Last night, that dog was freaked out by all the lightning. And needless to say, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night because from about 1:30 till about 3, a dog wouldn't stop shaking. It was kind of wild.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, that's too bad. Goodness gracious. Poor dog.
Yeah.
You got to get her one of those thunder jackets or whatever the hell that is.
Really?
Have you seen those?
No.
Yeah, his little thunder jacket. You put it on the dog and it holds it tight like a mama's hug.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Come on, man. Well, you might get some sleep.
I don't know that it matters. I mean, I don't know. It was just the lightning that was in the thunder. It was bad storms.
They were horrible storms, and it must have rained quite a bit, too. So.
I'm glad you mentioned a little hockey action. Did you watch the Stanley Cup last night?
No, I didn't. Forgot about that, and forgot about the UFC fight that was on.
What the hell did you do?
DC.
Did you go to bed early because you were tired and hungover from a week in Mexico?
I'm in rehab for a few days. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. I had 2 TVs. First off, that UFC deal last night was spectacular. The setting, just all of it looked great. I am not a big UFC guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who was fighting. I didn't have the dogs. I just wanted to watch the spectacle that was, and it was. And I thought it looked incredible. At first I thought, man, what are they doing? But watching guys coming out of the Oval Office as kind of the walkout area, the Medal of Honor recipients that were there, it looked spectacular on television. The hockey was also awesome. And one of the coolest parts of the hockey game wasn't what was going on in Las Vegas for the final game, where you had the road team in back-to-back nights celebrate on the other team's home arena, which kind of sucked. But those watching in Carolina on the ice, they packed the arena to watch on the Jumbotron. They had lights on the ice that were where the players were supposed to be, like trackers. So even though you were, it was just kind of cool where we've come technology-wise to be able to see that.
I think that's pretty cool. I didn't watch any of that. So, but congrats to Carolina, although I was rooting for Vegas because the owner of the Trailblazers is
Tom Dundon.
That cheap SOB.
Not a fan of old Tom Dundon.
No, me either.
But they were incredible. And their goalie, Busey, what a great story.
Oh, my gosh. A shutout.
Undrafted guy gets his first ever start in a finals game, and then he gets 3 in a row and wins a cup.
Unbelievable.
That's, dude, keep chasing your dreams and never give up story right there.
Well, who was the old dude? Him?
No.
There was some old 37-year-old dude I was reading about today that
won another cup?
Won a cup,
yeah. He's not the goalie.
All right.
Yeah.
He's old, though.
At 37.
37. Well, in professional sports, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an old dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And all the good UFC stuff. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
All right. So last week, Joe.
Yes.
During one of the games in New York, Monica McNutt, who you see on ESPN a lot, who is also the Knicks radio analyst, was caught on the open mic bitching about Taylor Swift, saying, what is she doing here? She's not even a fan.
Wow.
As if real fans should be there.
Uh-huh.
Now, in her defense, one of the features that she did for ESPN leading up to one of the games was Celebrity Row. And she said she's talking to a lot of these celebrities that go to Celebrity Row, and nobody ever mentioned that Taylor Swift goes. But the Swifties came after Monica because she has been to games many, many times. And Monica apologized, like, I was wrong. Apparently she's been there before. I did see her courtside at the Eastern Conference Finals, but she was there with her fiancé. So it was, I mean, look, you say anything bad about Taylor Swift, and they are coming after you. Even if Jalen Brunson is going to defend Monica McNutt.
I just want to say something to the Swifties. She's a really good one. Cut her some slack. It's all good. I promise.
You know, he should have thrown in like, hey, I'm a Swiftie, and you other Swifties should cut her a break because us Swifties know she's a good one.
Yeah.
That would have solved everything.
Look, I mean, Swiftie being at the game is raising money for charity because, you know, Cleveland, and I find this comical, took the chairs that the celebrities sat in, including Taylor Swift's and Chalamet's and Ben Stiller's, but Taylor Swift's Asprint raised more money than everybody else. But also Madison Square Garden, they're auctioning off the seats that these celebrities sat in for charity.
Taylor got, what, $7,000 for hers.
Yep.
And everybody else was just chump change. Kylie Jenner's got $1,500. Travis Kelce, $1,400. Your little Chalamet dude is $1,200. Ben Stiller only got a measly $732.
That's, I mean, now I'm curious, will the Spurs Foundation be auctioning off the chairs that celebrities such as Sydney Sweeney were in?
Only if they haven't washed them.
Look, I saw Sydney in those very tight-fitting jeans. That chair would raise a lot of money from
sure
Joe Reinagle.
Unfortunately, I'm not in that league or category, but
you'd go broke trying to get a seat where she sat. Trust me,
dude. I saw somebody saying that she was flirting with everybody. Any dude that came up, she'd give her goo eyes and flirt with him.
You know, I was in the vicinity of Sydney Sweeney. We were actually in a concession line, and she was in front of me, but she was surrounded by a couple of dudes. But she was extremely nice to everybody, mainly females, though, that walked up and wanted photos with her, including a lady that we work with here. Her daughter got a picture with Sydney Sweeney.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't see guys going up. What I saw a lot of guys doing was just walking up, getting close, and snapping a photo. Very, very similar to the one that I sent you guys.
And having to turn around really quick.
I mean, not necessarily, but watching her turn around was a lot more enjoyable, I will tell you that.
I'm sure it was. I thought it was kind of cool. When you first sent me a picture, I'm going, wait a minute, is that here?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah.
Yeah, she's right there. Well, she ordered food and then was waiting for her food, and we were all waiting for food together.
What'd she order?
I don't know.
Dude, you didn't stick around to find out? I mean, is she a nacho person?
I wasn't that creepy. It was at the chicken tender place.
Dude, I'm going to be creepy.
She was holding a Sprite.
You sure? Yeah. That'd be something in there.
I don't know. She was holding a Sprite.
Now, to me, Spurs fans, I don't know about y'all, but that just kind of lifts us up on the social ladder a little bit.
Really?
Doesn't it? Well, I think so.
With the Knicks shirt that she was wearing, there was a lot of lift in there.
That's unfortunate for her. That
was very custom made.
Somebody should have handed her. And it was a Jalen Brunson. No wonder that dude played so well.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Brunson shirt.
He was up for the game.
He sure was. One hell of a climax for him, too, wasn't it?
A lot of champagne spray.
It sure was.
This
is a great story, dude.
The World Cup mascots?
Yes, great story. And genius, whoever thought of it.
Yeah, police in Peru disguised themselves as World Cup mascots during a drug raid. Kind of wild.
No, I think it's great. I mean, because the drug dealers had no clue who was coming.
Yep.
Just thinking these bunch of cheese balls in suits, and they're just walking down the street celebrating, and then pow, you're under arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was genius.
Genius.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Dude, all these comments. I drilled all the way to Sydney's section. No, we were in different sections. She had security near her section. I couldn't get there. I was not looking at her chicken wings. I can tell you that, too. And people that want to post the photo that I sent, I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
Because it's past and she's wearing Knicks stuff.
I don't think anybody gives a damn at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care.
And some of these others, I'm not even going to read on air, but if you want to read some of these comments, you can. You know, a bizarre story. Now, you were in Mexico. A lot of different things you can do while you're on a beach vacation. Parasailing is always a lot of fun. I don't know if you've ever done that.
I have.
You know, bungee jumping is always a lot of fun.
Never done that.
You've never bungee jumped?
Never have and never will.
I have. I never will again because I'm old now. And I've bungee jumped in some when I was in the Navy and, you know, ports in other countries, and, you know, OSHA is not a thing. Safety is not necessarily a thing. But, man, this story about this woman that bungee jumped without a cord is in the video, right? I mean, she fell 131 feet. She was thrown She's 21 years old. She's now dead, obviously. 6 people have now been arrested. But when I'm watching this, she's on a bridge in Brazil. Now, the 2 guys or people that are holding her up and then throw her off, they're not harnessed to anything either. But they forgot to attach the cord.
Good gosh.
Now, as I watch that, and 6 people are arrested, if you've ever bungee jumped, if you've ever jumped out of an airplane, if you've ever done the thing on the stratosphere.
No.
Well, I know you, I mean.
It's all 3.
Well, but people have and people do.
Oh, sure.
Before they hoist you up, aren't you, like, checking the cord yourself, giving it a good tug? You're a little bit nervous before all that happens. I mean, I'm not saying that this 21-year-old is at all at fault, but at what point did she not say, hey, are you sure we're ready to go? Because you haven't put anything on me yet that would keep me from falling to my death.
Well, then there's that. But shouldn't there be, when you get into a roller coaster or something, I mean, they always kind of pull up and then they check it. I mean, isn't there one dude that's his job? To check to make sure that, hey, you got something on that you're not going to fall and splat on the ground.
At what point do this woman's friends who are taking video not go, they haven't connected you yet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, now it's off a bridge, and apparently police are saying the company didn't have all the permits to do that there. And I've actually been in a country where I did something off a bridge like that, and you wondered about safety. I was parasailing once, looking at that line, and it was kind of fraying, and I thought,
well, at least you'd be fine until the sharks come. But other than that,
I mean, you're in Cancun, so I mean, but the fall was, well, I mean, you got a pair. But I'm looking at that line, go, man, this rope is not going to last that much longer. It survived the ride I was on, but I was kind of concerned about it when we got up in the air. And
at that point in time, what the hell are you going to do about it?
Well,
nothing.
I mean, nothing, but it did kind of ruin the experience because I kept waiting for that line to snap.
Oh, dude.
But now, at my age now, no way in hell I'm doing that, but it's just the most bizarre story that nobody noticed, including the person. And generally, that person, you've got that nervous energy. Like my daughter just, Memorial Weekend, she was in Vegas and jumped off the stratosphere. And she's a little daredevil. She likes to jump out of perfectly good airplanes and do things like that. And even in the video that she made, you could see a little bit nervous getting out there, and it's not her first time, but she's constantly checking. Like,
sure.
All right. And then the people are constantly checking.
Right.
How the woman that fell to her death never, like, don't I have to wear something?
Well, it's a sad story.
It's awful.
I actually saw that story when it happened, and it was awful. So check yourself if you're going bungee jumping or parachuting or parasailing or whatever the hell you're doing. Make sure you are strapped in for the ride. My goodness. We're talking a lot of Spurs, and we're going to get back to that because a lot of people still want to do that. But the Cowboys actually open up mandatory OTAs tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And the big question is, will George Pickens be there? Well, we'll talk about it when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
So I haven't had Red Diamond in over 2 weeks.
Oh, my.
So
what are you supplementing with?
I've got some Bai coconut waters that I'm kind of BAI.
Yeah, no, it's coconut water that
we see other people
that does sex with guys and
see
girls.
Other people.
See,
but
it's Bai.
It's coconut water that
I don't know
slept
why
with a pineapple.
I don't know why I didn't hear that before I said it. I really didn't. And the funny thing is, I've been talking about my Bai coconut water to a lot of people over the last 3 days. And it didn't strike me what that sounded like until right now.
Yeah. The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Super Paint, Super Deck, and Woodscapes products June 12th through the 22nd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic? Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Vehicle safety starts underneath. That's why the pros choose Napa for undercar solutions that stop safety issues before they become costly problems. Go further with complete repairs that restore stopping, steering, and stability. Then grow your business through trust and repeat visits. With premium rotors, pads, struts, and wheel hub assemblies, Napa has everything you need to keep undercar under control. That's Napa know-how.
Watch every Team USA World Cup match at Social Spot. Enjoy great screens, great food, snacks, ice-cold beer, and the best World Cup atmosphere in San Antonio. Join the party at 930 Broadway. Social Spot in San Antonio Sports Star, your headquarters for the 2026 World Cup watch parties.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
This World Cup update on San Antonio Sports Star is brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Soccer's biggest event in the world is here, and Twin Peaks has the best seats in the house for your favorite matchups, paired with daily goal-worthy specials. With 4 area Twin Peaks locations, Twin Peaks is your home for the world's biggest soccer event. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update. A shocker in Atlanta kicked off the action today as Cape Verde, a nation of 10 islands off the coast of West Africa, stunned the defending European champion Spain in their tournament debut with the scoreless draw to begin Group G play. Cape Verde goalkeeper Vozinha was the star, the 40-year-old with 7 saves to preserve the point. 18-year-old Spanish star Lamine Yamal did make his tournament debut off the bench in the 71st minute as he comes off a hamstring injury. Keeping it in Group G, it is halftime in Seattle, and Egypt is in front of Belgium 1-0. The Pharaohs seeking the upset in their first ever win at the tournament. Imam Ashour's strike from outside the box into the bottom left corner in the 20th minute is the difference. His first career international goal, Mohamed Salah with the assist. Still coming up today in Group H, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay face off in Miami with a 6 p.m. Eastern kickoff. I'm Lucas Panzica, Westwood One Sport.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6, your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness, we're still reliving, managing the pain of a Game 5 loss on Saturday night. Spurs out of the finals. The New York Knicks are the champs, unfortunately. But we're talking about it and a lot of other things going on as we move on here from the final series. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix. And I don't know, how'd you feel yesterday? Yesterday was just kind of blah.
It was, yeah, that's a good way to put it. The idea of, going to the game as a fan with my kid, that was a great experience, even though the Spurs lost the game. But I got to admit, and I know this happens to me every time it rolls around, dude, I've watched more soccer in the last couple of days than I thought I would. These games, that USA game on Friday was incredible. Now, granted, they scored 4 goals. The game I was watching yesterday, Germany had a whole touchdown, right? Then I'm watching the Dutch, and who'd they play? Was it Japan?
Sure.
Seeing all the video in Arlington, the crazy atmosphere, and the friends that I have that were there, how crazy they say that it was. And I got to admit, I've watched a lot of soccer. The games have been high scoring. I don't know, did they change the rules on soccer? Now they're allowed to have goals. They're not all 0-0.
They lightened up on the defense, I guess.
Well, whatever.
Although Spain, I hear it's an upset. They fought to a 0-0 tie today.
Son of a. Well, and again, I'm making money on it. I took one where like each team just had to score and you were going to win. I'm like, well, all right, I'll throw a couple dollars on that.
Did you win?
I did. Because it was, well, at that point, Netherlands and Japan or whoever they were playing, it was, 1-1.
I feel pretty fortunate. Sitting there watching the United States take on Paraguay,
yeah,
the other night, with the guy I met he's from England. So he was showing me some stuff like, well, this is why they do that, and that's how come they do that, and this is it. And I was asking him questions. It was a learning experience.
Right, so now you're a soccer expert?
I am no genius at soccer or an expert or anything like that, but at least I can watch and say, oh, I know why they did that.
Well, I had Katie Goodman on the other day because she's our soccer expert, and I said, talk to me like I'm 3 and I don't know anything because I don't.
Right.
And she was great, but then I'm watching the game, and it helped because my daughter's flight Friday night was delayed, so I'm sitting there watching the game, and well, then I left to go to a concert, and told her she had to Uber. But yeah, but it was it was just so much fun, and the games have been a lot more exciting, for me anyway, because to me, soccer a lot of times is cross-country with a ball, and it feels like this World Cup, out of the gate, the games are a lot more entertaining and a lot more high-scoring than I would expect. And I know, I'm leaving for the Grand Caymans in the morning, and, I was like, man, if there's a Spurs game and soccer is on, I hope these bars understand at the end. I was legit worried about it. Like, I'm going to end up watching in my room because I imagine all the sports bars are going to be showing World Cup.
Well, they might be, although where I was at, they've showed both. So
yeah,
it worked out pretty well. But
I don't have to worry about it now. Thank you, Spurs.
The only thing my English friend couldn't answer for me is why the United States plays on June 11th and then they'll play again until the 19th. The hell's up with that?
Well, I mean,
be stealing my lucky charms.
Because your English friend turned Irish in the middle of all that. I have no idea.
I don't know why that is. Why do they wait so damn long?
They play Friday night.
They played on June 11th, because I remember it specifically. And then I said, when's the next game? June 19th.
Yeah, they played Friday and Friday, right?
No.
I mean, literally, they played on Friday, and they play this Friday.
They played on Thursday, and they played on Friday. Yes, they did. I was there.
You were drunk. You don't remember. Look at the schedule. It was Friday.
It was Thursday. I know specifically.
Okay. Beer bet?
Where was June 11th?
Beer bet?
What day was June 11th?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But I know it was Friday. I don't know what day they played, but I know it was Friday. I couldn't tell you the actual date without looking at a calendar.
Spurs played on Wednesday, right?
And there was nothing on Thursday. And then Friday, they played because it was a 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock start in Los Angeles.
Okay, so
I'm waiting for Erica to fly home, and then I left to go see Gene Loves Jezebel, which was on a Friday, not on a Thursday. And then they play this Friday in Seattle.
Okay.
Final score.
Begs the
4-1
question.
Friday, June 12th.
It was the 12th. See, I thought it was the 11th.
Yeah, but damn it, you knew.
Begs the question.
Tequila talking.
Begs the question. Why do you wait a week? Why do we have to wait a week in between games? Does anybody know the answer to that?
Well, they got a bus trip. I don't know.
From L.A. to Seattle.
That would take 3 days.
It's like football. They get a week in between games.
Does everybody get a week between games? This early in the well, because there are a lot more teams in this year's World Cup than normal, so maybe that's how they're doing it.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't want to wait that long.
Well, patience, grasshopper. This is the expert soccer talk everybody's been waiting to hear on the Blitz, right?
I was quite impressed with Team USA. Because, according to my English buddy, Paraguay's pretty good. That's what he said. I don't know. I could not argue with him or debate him because I don't know.
I'm with you. So, mandatory minicamp tomorrow. Does George Pickens show up is the $1 million question.
Our good friend Clarence Hill on, DLLS?
Yep.
Said he had an exclusive that a source told him that he would be there. And then the Dallas Morning News about an hour after that came in and said reports are that he'll be there. Now, how much he participates is another thing, but
we'll see. And that's something that Dak Prescott said last week. Because he signed his franchise tag, he gets fined if he's not there. But Dak said last week at the voluntary stuff, he expects George to be there, but he's not going to do anything. He's not going to go out on the practice field. Todd Archer said he was in Dallas today taking his physical.
All right.
So I do expect Pickens to be there. I think the bigger surprise would be if he actually gets on the football field and runs routes with the team.
Well, now, is that his choice or the Cowboys' choice?
His.
Well, I hope he's ready.
Yep.
When the season starts, because will he do the same thing in training camp?
That's going to be a question when we get there.
That's a good question, right?
Yep.
So, do you really think it's going to change anything for Pickens? I mean, in all sincerity.
The idea of getting hurt at this point isn't worth the risk if you're George Pickens. And we've seen guys get injured and lose their seasons in minicamps. I mean, hell, it happened to Sean Lee. Sean Lee got hurt. What was that? His ACL, like in the first part of practice. I want to say first play, but that might be overdramatic. But, I mean, he's got to go protect himself. So he'll be there, but will he do anything on the football field? And when training camp rolls around, I hope that he does. But when you don't have the long-term contract, that's your only leverage. So we've seen enough guys show up but not do anything. And to your point, will he be ready for the season? You know, Dak did say that he and George Pickens and other receivers have had workouts on their own.
Could he not get hurt in those workouts?
Well, he could.
Sure.
But that's on his dime, not the company dime.
But he's guaranteed $27 million. Guaranteed.
Yep.
Show up for work. Go do work. I mean, seriously.
Uh-huh.
Show up for work.
Yeah. Well, he signed his deal. He didn't have to. And so him signing the deal, I think, was the good faith part on him, although when he signed it the night of the draft, we're thinking, all right, because we were sitting there at Taste of the Northside doing, oh, Pickens is signing his deal. A trade must be imminent. And, of course, no trade happened. But if he signed it, then remember he didn't sign it. He was said he was going to sign it, and he did it the next week. But you look at some of these other receivers that have been paid, the longer you wait, Jerry, the more it's going to cost. And I think just with what's happened this offseason has certainly put, if he's looking for a top-end deal, outpriced what the Dallas Cowboys are going to be able to pay him.
Oh, I think he was already outpriced. I don't care what the other guys get. He was outpriced. They're not going to pay him that money. He shouldn't even make more than C.D. Lamb, in my opinion. So that's my opinion, and I think that he needs to get out there and play. He's got $27 million to play for.
Go earn it.
1 year. 1 year.
Yep.
$27 million.
Yep.
You know who may or may not be playing this year? Brendan Sorsby. I know you've talked a lot about it, but
Lord.
Today the Big 12 is doing something that they hope stops Texas Tech from playing Brendan Sorsby. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, you think about the College World Series that's going on right now. Texas leading Alabama 11-2. You've got World Cup action, baseball, World Cup. You know the best place to go watch is the Rue Pub because there's no game tomorrow night, which sucks. And you know what I appreciate about my friends at the Rue Pub? Saturday night after the game, we end up at Rue Pub, and they put all their TVs on everything but SportsCenter. There was nothing showing inside the Rue Pub of a Knicks celebration. They are very aware of what was going on, and as a sports fan, I appreciated that they didn't leave the TVs on SportsCenter. Soccer replays and other stuff are going on. And you know it's the best place to go watch any big game, any big event, all the different fights with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And go hungry. You know the food is incredible. The fried shrimp, they've got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, the hot dogs, the appetizers, even the salads, I'm told, are wonderful. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call. In the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits 2. Now we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Whoa, okay. This one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Huh. The T-Mobile one says their customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years. And their latest experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now or...
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. And right now, bring your phone to T-Mobile and we'll give you $400 when you switch.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. $400 with new account on qualifying line. Unlocked device credit ported 90+ days with device and carrier. Entirely redemption required. Virtual MasterCard typically takes 14 weeks. No cash access and expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC. Visit T-Mobile.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, basketball season's over. You know what? One thing will make us feel better. Football. Let's start talking it, baby.
Football, baby. OTA's around the corner. Is Pickens ready to go? We're talking the Cowboy defense, too. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Monday on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. We are talking about Spurs basketball, and we'll get back to that. But the Big 12 is fighting hard, Minix, trying to keep Brendan Sorsby from playing football for Texas Tech.
As they should. Like everybody from Texas Tech knows that they are wrong. And I said this last week. You put out a 22-minute video trying to explain yourself, you know that you're on the wrong side of this.
Absolutely.
The letter that the university president wrote to the student body, ain't nobody going to read all that. I know you want to win, but at what cost? You can, as a university, wrap your arms around Brendan Sorsby and get him the help that he needs for the addiction that he has, that you keep telling me that he has. You can get him all the help in the world without allowing him to play football, right? Because the way I understand addiction, that's a battle that he has every day of his life, right? You don't fix it. It's not a broken arm. It's not a bad hamstring where you go to rehab and, all right, in 6 weeks, man, you're going to be 100%. So, but that's the way Texas Tech seems to be referring to this. Man, we're going to send him to rehab. We're going to get his help, and he's going to be good, and we're going to go win games. And, he's got to miss that big game against Abilene Christian. There's punishment there. He won't be available for Oregon State.
Isn't that kind of like Pickens and C.D. Lamb missing the first 2 minutes of some game?
Exactly. I mean, they're going to win those games, whether he's the quarterback or not, something you could bet on. And sure, they might not have known this when they brought him to campus. And they might have some buyer's remorse. And when you tell me, yeah, but he never bet on his team to lose. I mean, what? It doesn't matter. That's the one area.
Kept Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame.
As much as I like Joey McGuire as a person and as a coach, when he sits there and says, well, it's not like he committed murder, which he did. You didn't hear that? Pledge, do you still have that clip from the Houston Touchdown Club? I mean, it's just been a PR nightmare for Texas Tech. Clearly, that's a university that doesn't offer crisis PR as a degree. If you missed it, like Joe, this was Joey McGuire last week.
Brendan Sorsby is recovering from an addiction. He's recovering. I've sat down with this young man multiple times, and the things that he is going through and what he's been through is serious. As a society, we've been okay with other things that happens and allowing players to play, and this has been the one thing that has united people that we're against, and it's crazy because it's not murder, it's not beating somebody, so there's a lot of things that we're working through.
And we need him to win football games, y'all.
Yeah.
When I'm out, I see that the Big 12 was threatening to boycott Texas Tech games, and then the Attorney General steps in and says you can't do that. So today, the Big 12 has filed a lawsuit in federal court asking the court to bar Texas Tech and the state attorney general from preventing the league's sanctioning of Texas Tech if it plays Sorsby as quarterback in 2026. So they filed this lawsuit in federal court. It's not in state court, it's federal court, and we'll see what happens. But they just filed that today. The Big 12's not going to let this go. They're going to use every bit of ammo they've got to try and prevent Sorsby from suiting up for Texas Tech. I don't even think the Big 12 gives a damn if he plays against Abilene Christian. It's when those Big 12 games start is what they have a problem with.
The Pete Thamel just tweeted out a few minutes ago, Big 12 Board of Directors meeting today discussing Sorsby ended with no decision, which was expected. The Board of Directors statement to ESPN says, quote, all options remain and includes this, quote, universities should not field players who have bet on their own team's games in college athletics. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, you're right, Joey McGuire. He didn't commit murder. He didn't beat anybody. He didn't sexually assault anybody. All far worse than a gambling addiction. But the one thing that everybody in sports knows is you can't bet on games. You can't bet on your team to win or lose. The integrity of the game is more important than one individual player. And in your case, you paid a lot of money to bring that quarterback on campus. I know what Joey McGuire said on the Blitz a couple of weeks ago, that he's cool with the depth of his quarterback room. If that were true, you wouldn't have gone out and hired or paid Brendan Sorsby to get to Lubbock. And that's what you're looking at. You've got a billionaire in Cody Campbell who is spending a lot of money, but a guy that wants results. And without Sorsby, you're probably not going to take the next step. And last year you were a playoff team. What's the next step? the pressure on these coaches to win now, especially with those donor checks, is huge. But you've got the university president, you've got the athletic director, and you've got Cody Campbell that are standing by this guy. And every time I hear or see something from one of them, all I think is, well, what if that was Arch Manning? What if that were the quarterback from TCU? What if that were the quarterback from any other university? What would Texas Tech be saying?
Well, they'd be saying the same thing everybody else is saying. Naturally, they would be. He shouldn't play. We're going to boycott him. We're going to do all. But it's you. It's just any fan or any team is going to take up for their guy. That's just what we do, and it's going to happen, and that's what they're doing. But again, they should have just let this go and moved on. Now, when I remember when Coach McGuire was on with us, he claimed he had 2 other capable quarterbacks on that roster.
Did.
That's what he said.
Sure.
And so, well, I mean, if they're that capable, then trot them out there and see what you got.
I truly do appreciate Texas Tech standing by their student athlete. That doesn't mean he needs to play.
Is it really their student athlete?
Well, I mean,
is anybody their student athlete anymore?
I'm just saying, the optics of, hey man, we believe in you, we've got you, and look, there are cases throughout the history of college athletics or pro athletics where a player gets in trouble, and a coach will put his arm around a player and guide him through, and they're still going to have a relationship. That doesn't mean that guy gets to continue to play. That doesn't mean the relationship or the support for that player stops. There's a lot of things they can do to embrace and support Brendan Sorsby, but letting him play football. And now they're, this has already cost him a lot of money in NIL. Well, he made that choice, and he'll go to the NFL, and maybe this follows him into the NFL. Maybe it doesn't. But these were all his choices, and it's not like he was making little $15 or $20 bets or made a couple $100. This isn't, he took and ate a cheeseburger, some of the old stupid stuff that you would see, right?
Coke.
The amount of money that this guy was gambling, and sure, he has an addiction, and they might be able to monitor all his devices. I'm just looking at the fake names, the fake email addresses, the fake accounts. I'm just wondering, are there more criminal charges that could be coming his way? I mean, he went through a lot of work to be able to gamble and try to not get caught.
If you're Brendan Sorsby and what you just said could be true, I'd certainly want to look into it. And then I may just go to McGuire and say, hey, I'm going to bow out. I don't want anybody crawling up my behind anymore with a microscope and pulling out all kinds of stuff. I mean, honestly, who knows? Look, I don't know Brendan Sorsby from Adam. I'm sure he's a great quarterback. And I don't have any disdain for Texas Tech. But they need to step up and do the right thing in this point in time. Take him and get him help. Do that. Somebody on our YouTube page is take him to a casino and see how long he lasts.
Well, I'm
not trying to make light of the subject, but I'm just saying.
I appreciate and I've got friends that are like this, and I appreciate friends that stop drinking but will still go hang out at the bar.
Sure.
I know that's got to be difficult, and it probably is for them at the beginning, but they can do that. The gambling and the part about this that I don't know Brendan Sorsby, haven't heard him talk. I don't know if he's remorseful. I don't know. There was some statement, and Joey McGuire his parents, is Texas Tech going to be okay? I'm sure that's the first thing they said. No, I don't. It just feels wrong that they're battling for this one guy, and Texas Tech as a university looks worse. And it seems like everybody knows that they're wrong but them, and they keep doubling down with one bad PR move after another. You're fighting for one player, and it doesn't feel like you're going to win. Although in the NCAA world today, find a lawyer and find a judge, and you'll be good. They set the court case for February. Ironically,
of course,
a couple weeks after the national championship game, just in case. And at that point, it won't matter because he'll be off for the NFL draft.
Absolutely.
I think the deadline for the supplemental draft is coming up for the NFL if he wanted to go that route. But playing college football is not a right. You're not guaranteed to be able to do that. The university can enroll them in classes and support them and let them watch film. There's all kinds of things they could do with them, but being QB1, I mean, dude, you messed up, and that's on you.
And isn't that the consequences, right? Isn't that the problem?
But he has an addiction.
Well, okay.
I mean, and next time somebody, beats up the girlfriend, it's an addiction, man. It's anger management. Just get me some help and let me go play.
Well,
Stop.
Tech needs to step up and do the right thing here. I mean, they obviously do. They're not going. The Big 12's not going to stop either, though, and that's the problem. Because I guarantee you've got. I think there was one school that was not involved in the boycotting of Texas Tech. I think it was BYU of all schools. That would have been the last one I would have thought. However, I mean, they were all ready to say, the hell with you, we're not playing Texas Tech. And, I mean, if they're willing to go that far and they're standing on what they believe are their principles, the Big 12's not going to stop this. The other teams are not going to allow them to stop this. And then what happens? I mean, honestly, what happens? So if a BYU or an Oklahoma State, hey, there's a pretty good quarterback over there, but you know what? He's under investigation for, I don't know, he smokes crack every day. It's an addiction. Let him play. I mean, seriously, where does this go?
Again, college athletics today, I have no idea, because find a lawyer and a judge, and you're going to win. And look, if he wanted the 19th year of eligibility, he'll get it at this point. It feels that way. But this is that one rule that you can't cross. And Texas Tech, part of me appreciates them fighting for their guy, but, man, for a guy that just showed up, this just feels like the wrong hill you want to die on.
It really does. It really does. Well, we'll see how this plays out. Again, the Big 12 has filed a lawsuit in federal court today to try and stop Sorsby from playing football for Texas Tech. So we'll see where that goes, and we'll continue to follow that story. Let's talk some Spurs basketball. I haven't done that in a minute because, well, we need to. We'll put this thing to bed. We'll figure out what they need to do, and send a letter to Mitch Johnson and the rest of the Spurs on how they need to handle things as we move forward. This is the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. First of all, I got to tell you, and I'm getting educated on this, and it's fabulous. June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention. A lot of us have guns, and you are safe with them. Some people are not. You want to keep those guns locked. You want to keep them secure, keep them out of the reach of children. There's nothing worse than an accidental shooting involving a child. It's terrible. And my goodness, firearms are the leading cause of death for people ages 1 to 17. That is just a sad statistic. You never want to leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. We all know this. All of this is common sense, but still, sometimes we forget or we're just not taking care of our business. In moments of conflict, you don't want to let a split-second decision become a lifetime of regret. And don't celebrate with gunfire. I know that happens all the time in every city. 4th of July is coming up. Don't celebrate with guns. Those bullets go up, but they come down too. It's dangerous, and by the way, it is illegal. You want to prevent an injury. Store guns safely. Gun Violence Awareness Month, all month long. You want to learn some more like I'm doing right now? It's easy to do. All you do is visit sa.gov/health. That's sa.gov/health.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com.
This is Joel Frederick. From all of us at Quarterman, thank you. Through the years and through the growth of this city, you've trusted us to be there when it matters most. For plumbing repairs, air conditioning repairs, new system installs, and so much more. Now, you're going to start seeing a new Quarterman logo. It's a fresh look, but it reflects the same company we've always been. Rooted in hard work, family values, fair pricing, and caring for people the right way. Quartermoon Plumbing, AC, and Heating. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started.
Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Update on the College World Series. The Texas Longhorns taking on Alabama. It is an elimination game. They're in the top half of the eighth. The Horns rolling. They lead the Crimson Tide by a score of 11-2. Well, the Spurs season is finished, but it was an impressive season nonetheless. They finished with the second-best record in the NBA. Finals appearance, multiple postseason awards like Sixth Man of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And it just happens to be a mellow Monday. Hope everybody's having a great Monday afternoon here in the beautiful city of San Antonio or wherever you happen to be listening. We appreciate you stopping by here. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And, well, it was raining when we came in here, I think, or it looked like it was going to. Don't know what's happening now.
Yeah, I mean, got plenty of rain overnight. Middle of the night, these storms rolling in. And
nuts.
You know, this morning actually changed the routine a little bit. I was watching KBB's morning news because I didn't want to watch Get Up or First Take.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't blame you. I did watch a little Get Up this morning, and a lot of celebrating going on.
I get it.
Yeah.
And part of me, yeah.
Here we go.
I know how it's going to be when the Cowboys finally do what the Knicks have done, especially when you hear guys like Stephen A. saying, I never thought I'd see this day, right? It's been 53 years, right? 1973, the year I was born, the year the Spurs were born. It's been that long since the Knicks have won a championship, and it just sucks that they celebrated that championship on the San Antonio Spurs floor.
Well, I tell you, and I really, the way the Spurs, again, would bolt out to a lead, in fact, 3 double-digit leads at 3 separate times, I thought, man, they're going to show some heart here, and they're going to win this game. And they're going to send this thing back to New York. Now, they may not come back to San Antonio with a win, but at least they're going to extend this series, and well, we all know that didn't happen. Jalen Brunson was simply sensational. I mean, I don't know how else. Even if you hate Jalen Brunson or you hate the Knicks, you got to step up and say that dude was just spectacular.
Well, and again, the sports fan in me, to witness in person what Jalen Brunson did in a closeout championship game is incredible. The Spur fan in me hates that I had to watch that in person. And I think you can appreciate what you saw the Knicks do while be angry at the same time. Because if they do that against any other team, I'm a lot happier for those guys, right?
Sure.
But when you look at the way that series played out, the Spurs lose in 5, but they were the better team for the majority of the series. And I know it sounds ridiculous to say that out loud, but they were the better team for the majority of the games, but not all 48 minutes. The Knicks have learned how to close games. The Spurs have to learn how to close out games. Mitch Johnson will be better from this. He's got to coach better down the stretch. When you're blowing double-digit leads, yeah, I mean, sure, he's not the one out there making a bad pass like De'Aaron Fox or missing shots left and right. But at the same time, you can call a timeout. You can draw up a play that is your go-to. I know this is what I need to get a bucket, and he didn't do that. He got out-coached tremendously by Mike Brown, who is a far better coach than I think most people give him credit for.
Without a doubt. I mean, look at the coaches he's coached under. Greg Popovich, for one. Steve Kerr is another. And so, I mean, he's got some great experience, and he's had some coaching jobs. And, yes, I applaud Mike Brown because he's just one hell of a nice guy, and he is a former Spur. I know that doesn't make anybody feel that much better, but he is, and happy for him. Look, the Spurs got to learn from this. They need a closer. Jalen Brunson is the Knicks closer. Whenever they need buckets, they go to Jalen Brunson. I kept waiting, and I think this will happen. And I'm not dogging on Wemby here, but I kept waiting for him in that fourth quarter to just say, give me the basketball and let's go. And that never happened. And I believe that will, but I believe the Spurs need a guy. And Dylan Harper perhaps can help in that prospect of being that closer as this team grows up and starts to play a little bit better. But if Wemby's going to be the face of the NBA, if he's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to basketball, he's got to learn how to take over games, games that matter. Now, I know in the regular season, Wemby can do that, but games that matter in this series, this final series, he didn't do that. And so he's got to learn how to do that, and I think he will.
That's the thing, is you can be upset about how the Spurs lost the series. And I don't know that you would honestly feel any better if New York trucks them the way they truck Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. Because there are moments you're watching those 5 games, and you feel like all that experience talk leading up to the playoffs finally caught up to the San Antonio Spurs. Were they ready for the moment? And what if yourself to death, which we're all going to do this offseason, because while it's a collective series of plays, there are moments in each one of those games where you go, that was the one. I mean, just like a football game, there are 4 or 5 plays in every football game that ultimately determine the winner and the loser.
Yep.
Well, the same thing when you're watching a basketball game, in a 29-point lead disappearing isn't because of one moment, one bad pass from De'Aaron Fox or a bad decision, but those are the ones you remember because those particular plays, especially when you're seeing the comeback that the Knicks had, and the Knicks made some great shots during the comeback. in all of them, because the Spurs had double-digit leads in every game.
Everyone.
It's like, all right, you're up double digits. The Knicks say, all right, right where we want to be.
We've got them right where we want them.
It's just the way the coach drew it up.
I tell you, and that's the frustrating part about it all. I mean, obviously, we can look back at Game 4 and say that was just a disaster. 29-point halftime lead or whatever it was. I mean, they were up huge at halftime. And my good friend over here, Jason Minix, posted something, most dominant half of basketball I've ever seen.
Wasn't it?
And you were right.
It was impressive.
You jinxed him, Minix.
Well, what about your drunk-ass video from the beach in Mexico? You went to bed.
Well, I was telling people, go to bed. It's over. It's going to be tied 2-2. I mean, who wouldn't say that? Who wouldn't think that? When you played as dominant of a game of basketball as the Spurs did in that first half, and there's no way they're losing that game. I mean, that's just an impossibility in my mind. But obviously it's not impossible because it happened.
Well, wasn't Wemby the one that used the term, we don't know what's impossible, so everything is possible?
Yeah,
I mean, it was the greatest comeback in finals history. It wasn't possible until we saw the Knicks do it to the San Antonio Spurs. And anytime you have a great comeback, you have a colossal collapse. And that is what we saw. And the wounds might still be fresh, but quickly it's what do they need to be better? And it's the draft's next week. I mean, there's free agents that they have to make decisions on. There's money available depending on what they decide to do, because the holes in the roster that we talked about all season, that they overcame in every series up until the NBA Finals, what they need to do to get better. Brian Wright, I mean, they're ahead of schedule, but now the expectation is you're going to be in the finals every year. They are Vegas has the Spurs favored to be champs next year.
Yep, they do. Oklahoma City's right behind them, however, and then you got Boston and the Knicks. So those seem to be right now, at least as we sit here today, the four best teams in the NBA, at least the one that everybody likes. Again, what do they need to do? I don't think they solved this problem in the draft, not for next year anyway. And they've got some money. They've got some draft capital. They can go out and get a quality free agent, a guy that can either spell Wemby or play with him and help take some of that pressure down low off of him and allow Wemby to do more of the things that he's more comfortable doing. And I think, to me, that's the biggest need at this point in time. The whole De'Aaron Fox thing, De'Aaron Fox, I think, is going to be fine. I really do. And I think they need his leadership. And maybe you tweak how you do things. Dylan Harper obviously is up and coming. But, again, if you watch that game, as good as Dylan Harper was in Game 5, I mean, he kind of faded down the stretch, just like every other Spur that there is. So he's got some learning to do, too. What I love about Harper, though, and by the way, I tell everybody to listen to this thing, he is absolutely my favorite Spur at this point in time. And he's only going to get better. This kid is so athletic, so quick. When he's in the game, the Knicks could keep up with him. They didn't have anybody that could keep up with his quickness and what he can do. He just missed some bunnies, and again, I think just got tired in the process. So let's talk a little more Spurs, and we'll hear from some of them as well. And if you've got something on your mind, you know what happened or what the Spurs can do to get better in your mind, your opinion, we welcome that. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. All you have to do is go to sasportstar.com. You can find us there. You can like, subscribe, and comment there. You can get Jason at Jason Minix on Twitter. I'm at Joe Reinigle 210. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And I know throughout the finals run, a lot of you tired, exhausted, emotionally, physically, staying up later, and just frustration with the Spurs. But if you're tired all the time, it's not just getting older. If your energy is down, your workouts aren't what they used to be, you're not as focused, your sex drive isn't what it was, you just don't feel like yourself, it's not just getting older, but it is time for you to get into Synergenics and get a free testosterone test. 1 in 4 men over 40 have low testosterone. For many men, the symptoms happen gradually, so you don't even notice at first, and you're just like, well, I'm getting older, this is life, or stress from work or lack of sleep, part of that deal. Well, you get into Synergenics. Their providers specialize in hormone health and testosterone replacement therapy. They're going to talk to you, talk about your symptoms, your personal goals, use lab work, and create a treatment plan that is customized to you. No two treatment plans are exactly the same because no two guys are exactly alike. And TRT might help with your energy, your focus, libido, body composition, your overall quality of life, your mood. You don't have to settle for feeling less than your best. Get into Synergenics. They work with most major insurance providers, and that testosterone test is absolutely free. So if you're feeling off, it's just not the way it used to be, go get tested. If you need the help, you can get started right away. They might tell you, oh, your numbers are good, and try to figure out what else is going on. But it starts with that initial test that is absolutely free. Go to their website to book that appointment, Synergenics.com, Synergenx.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Attention soccer fans. House of Cards and Collectibles on Vance Jackson has the 2026 Panini Prism FIFA Soccer Card Packs in stock. Pull cards from Mbappe, Messi, Kane, Bellingham, and many more. Find autographs and serial numbered cards randomly inserted. House of Cards and Collectibles also has FIFA World Cup sticker albums and packs. Come in today before they're all gone. House of Cards and Collectibles at 2105 Vance Jackson Road.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's smart.
This Father's Day, join the Blitz live at Coldplay Cove in Stone Oak. Enjoy Dad and Me sports activities, coffee tastings, giveaways, raffles, and family fun built for modern families. Grab your tickets now through the events page at ColdplayCove.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If pain is slowing you down, you don't have to live with it. We target the source of your pain for fast, lasting relief. No pain pills, no surgery. Most patients notice results in just one visit. We accept most insurance plans, so getting help is easy. Don't wait. Visit Arasti.com today. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
To find the location nearest you, visit Arasti.com.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the Morning Huddles. Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Play ball! Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two, now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on the Blitz as we dissect what happened to our San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals. Knicks take home the prize. Spurs, well, it was one hell of an experience. You can say that for sure. I'm Joe. He's Jason. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The GOAT, if you will, not the greatest of all time GOAT, is De'Aaron Fox.
Yes.
And the criticism that De'Aaron Fox is getting, I think, is well earned. I don't think things that are being said about De'Aaron Fox aren't unfair, especially when he is the veteran guy, not the 19-year-old rookie or a 21-year-old. I mean, he's the veteran guy. While sure, he doesn't have finalist experience, he's the steadying force. Now, I will say, though, in defending him a little bit, I know he's playing hurt. If he truly did have a high ankle sprain against Minnesota, then the fact that he's even out there is impressive and shows his dedication, right? But, some of the mistakes that he made, his struggles throughout this series are just like, dude, what are you doing?
And I got shots that I've made in the past, and sometimes you just don't make them. Some felt good, back rim, in and out. It is what it is. Obviously, I wish I made those shots, but, the team is physical. They force you into taking jump shots and trying to keep you out of the paint, but, shots just didn't go down for me.
And they didn't, and you could tell as that game went along, New York was just daring them to shoot.
Yep.
Because he was hitting nothing, and I had to. It was frustrating, man. I tweeted out, please stop shooting, because he just couldn't hit anything. There were 6 shots in a row that just clanked, and he just nothing was falling for this guy. And at some point in time, you got to stop shooting. I don't care how wide open you are.
Well, and again, then you look at the turnovers that he had and some of his decision-making from your veteran guy. Now, his new contract, he signed it last offseason, kicks in this year. And I know everybody's going to say, all right, we've got to trade De'Aaron Fox. I don't know that, one, the Spurs want to. 2, can they, with this contract just now kicking in? But at the same time, when the Spurs signed him and traded for him, they didn't know they were going to have a Dylan Harper. And you wonder if there's going to be any drama coming from the Spurs inside the locker room because, and I don't know that Devin Vassell honestly meant to say this, but in talking about how proud he is of the rookies, Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper, he kind of let something out of the bag.
Tremendously proud of both of them, starting with Carter and him not getting minutes in the beginning of the season, to going to the G League, to coming out here and changing games and making an impact and just trusting the process. He's going to be a special player. I know how hard he works, so he's going to be a really, really, really good defensive player. Offensive player, he's going to be a really good two-way player. Dylan, I think we all knew he was talented. I don't know anybody, if anybody knew he was this talented, probably besides himself. He was upset with playing time and different roles that he was in, but when we needed him most, he stepped up, and we have a star in the making, and I know that he's going to put so much work into the offseason. It's not just offensively, but defensively. He's made a lot of plays. He's grown so much, and what is he, 20, 21 years old? The sky's the limit for him. So I'm just really proud of our rookies. They stepped up, and to be called, their number to be called in the NBA Finals shows the growth and the trust that the coaches have into them.
Interesting that if you missed that, he said he was unhappy with playing time and other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that to a certain extent, but you are a rookie coming into the NBA, and I understand it. But when he got on the floor, he made the most of his opportunity, and I think that's why we're having this conversation today. Because you couldn't help but be impressed with his athletic ability, with his quickness, and just his smarts of getting to the basket. Because the Knicks had nobody that could keep up with him for the most part.
No, and again. At the beginning of the year, I thought there was one untouchable. And at the end of the year, I think there's 3. Wemby, Steph Castle, and Dylan Harper. And you heard Devin Vassell. He is a star in the making.
Yep.
But what do you do with De'Aaron Fox? And with De'Aaron Fox, and this is where, as fans, I think you need to kind of look at it from the front office side. Everything else that De'Aaron Fox does, how many times has Mitch Johnson credited Fox for being that guy that steadies everything, and the offense runs better, although playoff time, the numbers were better with Harper. But is that because of the injury that Fox suffered in Minnesota? High ankle sprain, we all know, that's a 4-to-6-week injury. And he was out there playing. He missed the first two games against Oklahoma City, and then he was out there. Now, part of me says, all right, when you started playing bad, why did Mitch leave him in there? Because he was hurting the team at that point, but he didn't have a month to get that ankle better. And, it's interesting. Let's go back in time. When it was just an ankle, and he was a game-time decision, all right, are you ready to go? And then when Mitch slipped or let out that it was high ankle, I think all of us went, well, crap. We're not going to see him a while, because we all know when you hear high ankle, you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
And for him to come back and play when he did, we all gave him a lot of credit for that.
We did.
They don't beat Oklahoma City without De'Aaron Fox.
That's absolutely true.
And that is what Brian Wright and Mitch Johnson and that front office staff are going to evaluate when, there's 150 comments on our YouTube page right now that says trade him for a bag of chips.
You can't do it, because who's going to want De'Aaron Fox with the money that he's going to be making beginning next year? That's a problem. And until that happens, look, De'Aaron Fox is here. He's not going anywhere. So if you're hoping for that, I didn't think the Knicks could come back from 29 down either. So I guess it's possible that something could happen. I just don't think that it will. He's going to be here. Now, how Mitch Johnson decides to play both Harper and Fox remains to be seen. The only problem I had with Mitch Johnson and his loyalty, or whatever you want to call it, was the fact that he left Fox in the game when it was clear that Fox just didn't have it, and Harper did. And that's what is more concerning to me, because I have to believe if Greg Popovich was the head coach, Fox would have been on the bench, and Harper would have been in the game, and that would have just been it. Because, look, I mean, it's just kind of common sense, is it not? You ride the hot hand. And a Game 5, an elimination game, a must-win game for the Spurs, is not the time to be worried about hurting somebody's feelings, especially a veteran like De'Aaron Fox.
And, it's interesting because Mitch Johnson was so outcoached in the finals. It appears that way anyway. And with something that you just said, the shadow of Greg Popovich, for the first time during the NBA Finals, you heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
Pop would have done this. Pop would have done that. It's interesting, even with Pop there and still very much a part of the organization and talking to the team, we haven't seen a lot of instances during the regular season or the early part of the playoffs where Mitch did something and, well, Pop wouldn't have done that. But you got to the NBA Finals and, dude, Speedy Claxton started over Tony Parker. And again, I don't care that Tony was young and Texas just went final 14-2 over Alabama. They stay alive at the CWS. It doesn't matter that at that point Claxton was the better guy and Tony Parker was the young kid. Tony Parker replaced Avery pretty quick as a starter. He wasn't playing well, then he got benched. The moment was too big for him.
Yeah.
The moment seemed too big for De'Aaron Fox, who is the veteran guy. It didn't seem too big for Dylan Harper.
No, it didn't. I mean, that kid's got no fear. And we're being reminded on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page how Pop used to make line changes when the starters, and that included Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and all of them that were starters at that time. He didn't care. It's about winning games. It's not about feelings. It's not about whatever Mitch Johnson and De'Aaron Fox were talking about. I get it. But at that point in time, it just seemed very clear to me that Harper was rolling, Fox was not, and the change should have been made. So, I don't know. You want to go to the phone lines?
Sure, we can do that. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
My God, I've been listening to you guys.
Yeah, turn off your blinker. That's all I'm hearing right now.
You must be merging.
I'm pulling right in a parking spot.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You've been driving down the highway with your blinker on. You're that guy, Gary. Come on.
No, I'm not that guy. You guys said everything that I was getting ready to say. So since you already said it, I'm going to say it real quick, and I'm going to get off the phone and let everybody else have their chance.
All right.
All right. First thing, man, got to stop all these dang turnovers. It's ridiculous. People going up the court, not looking back, or people thinking they're looking back and they're throwing the ball out of bounds. That's for the birds, man. It killed us, especially in games where you're only winning by 1 point. If you're missing 3-pointers, there's another shot, call a 2-point shot. Bring the ball in a little bit closer. Fundamentals, not boxing out on a inbound pass. Man, if you were playing junior high school and you didn't box out, your coach would jump your case.
Mm-hmm.
And Castle, what's up with the Spurs feel like they got to block everybody's shot that's trying to shoot a 3-pointer? Man, we lost by 1 point too many times. You don't have to block a 3-point shooter's shot. Just go straight up in the air or to the side, leave him alone, because these 3-point shooters are going to jump into you. Now, the coach has got to call them to the side and say, hey, cut the crap. And I don't care if Fox is playing better or if Fox is playing worse than Harper, Fox will have a nice warm spot sitting next to me. If that hurts your feeling, I think you got 26 million reasons where you can get over it. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, that's good enough. 31. Talk to me, Pledge.
31 million reasons.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Well,
Gary's going after taxes. Actually, taxes are probably more than that.
You guys having a private conversation here? What the hell are y'all talking about? I'm as lost as y'all are, I promise. I don't know what's happening. Gary makes some good points, and again, he's right. Some of the same points that we made. That is a lot of the problem with a lot of teams, not just the Spurs. If you've got a guy you've just given a bag to, you hope he earns that money. And maybe that's what Mitch Johnson was thinking. Look, I just got to let a shooter shoot, and he's going to break out of this thing. But I think De'Aaron Fox said it right, that the Knicks were forcing him to take those jump shots instead of letting him drive inside. And that's apparently what he wanted to do. But some of the bunnies he missed, you can't miss.
You can't miss those. And when you're the veteran guy and you're making that kind of money, the expectations are a lot higher. Because we all value your production based on your salary. You know, you understand, like the rookies, Castle, Harper, great bargains. Wemby right now is a great bargain.
Mm-hmm.
When Wemby, now granted, he's eligible to sign his extension this summer, but it won't kick in until the following year. And if he makes all NBA or whatever next year, that will go up to $300 million in change, like 301. And he's going to be worth every penny in a bargain. There's no negotiation. Max, sign here. There's nothing to negotiate with Wemby. Everybody else there is. I've seen a couple of comments on our YouTube page that are comparing De'Aaron Fox to Richard Jefferson during his time here. Now, and again, Richard Jefferson, though, never seemed to play up to his contract.
He hated it here, though.
He did, and that's fine. He hated it here, but the fans hated him. I think he liked it here until he realized nobody liked him, because when you sign for that kind of money, the expectation is such, and he never really played up to his contract. If he was making half of what he was making, he would have been a great Spur.
Sure.
But for that kind of money, the expectation was a lot higher.
Well, yeah, and it was for me, for sure. But again, look, this team went to the NBA Finals. All right, they lost in the finals, yes, but De'Aaron Fox was a big reason for their regular season success and some of the playoff success. He's a damn good player. He's a good point guard. He had a bad series, maybe a few. It just wasn't him. But the Spurs are not going to give up on this guy. I don't see any way, shape, or form they're going to give up on this guy, and he will be their point guard next year. The question is going to be, what does Mitch Johnson do about the problem he has, rich people problems, by the way, with Dylan Harper? You've got to get this kid more involved, I think.
Now, again, to your point, I don't know that the Spurs can, with that contract, move on from De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if they necessarily want to. But when they brought him here in that trade, Dylan Harper wasn't a part of this team.
Mm-hmm.
With Dylan Harper emerging, is it best for the team to try to move a De'Aaron Fox? Because can you have a guy making the money that De'Aaron Fox is making coming off the bench?
That's difficult for me to even fathom because it usually just doesn't happen that way.
How do you keep a Dylan Harper coming off the bench?
Well, what do you do with a Julian Champagnie? I mean, he's going to make $3 million next year. Does he get an extension? I think, I don't know. He's played well enough, but what do they do with him? Do you keep him or do you let him go, or is he tradable?
He's under contract with the team option for $3 million next year, so that's a great bargain. But do they reward him and give him a raise? He's earned it, but when you look at Harrison Barnes is $19 million. Let me pull up the salaries. His money comes off the books. Do they want to bring him back at a massive discount? By the way, not at $19 million.
I can't see Barnes back here next year.
Kelly Olynyk. Well, I mean, he started the year as a starter, and then he got replaced by Champagnie.
There you go.
Kelly Olynyk made $13.4 this year.
Well, he's not coming back.
He's not coming back. So that's 19 and 13, so that's north of 30. Sohan comes off the book. Biyombo is $3.6 million this year. I'm guessing that's off the books. McLaughlin 2.8, Lindy Waters 2.4, Plumlee 1.1. All those guys, who knows? They'll have the mid-level, right? So they'll have some money in free agency if they can find them. Hearing Devin Vassell talk about Dylan Harper being a little upset. I don't know that Dylan is willing to embrace the Manu role. Maybe he is. He seems like such a mature 19-year-old. But if he was upset behind the scenes, as Devin Vassell kind of indicated, I don't know. And again, that's the coaching staff to figure out. But they're going to have money to go get a free agent. And they've got some tradable pieces. Keldon has 1 year left on his deal for $18 million. Disappeared in the postseason. If they could trade him. I don't know that I want to trade a Devin Vassell, but if you can get me a better player than Devin Vassell, and I love Devin Vassell, but also I know if you're going to go get championship-level type players to fill in this roster, you might have to say goodbye to somebody you don't necessarily want to. There are 3 untouchables on this team, and they're all currently on their rookie deals.
I think, Keldon Johnson is probably the most tradable piece because of his contract status and the season that he had. And so I think he would be attractive to a lot of players. I loved what Devin Vassell did in the playoffs, and I think he is I would hate to see him go. But I understand exactly what you're talking about. We're talking Spurs basketball. We'll talk a lot more of that. If you've got a phone line, Michael, Sam, we see you there. Hang on the line. If you want to get on the line, you can do that. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Wimby said something in the press conference the other day that just kind of is, it's pissing people off. We'll hear from Wimby when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, about my Connecticut quality water softener. I'm just going to brag a little bit. It's the best thing I think we've put in the house. It is just an incredible product. It really is. And again, if you've listened to the show enough, I've said this before, it is, I was skeptical. I was thinking, how could this be any better than anything else I've ever had? And I learned really quick that it is better. Head and shoulders better. Just when you get out of the shower or your clothes out of the washing machine, your dishes out of the dishwasher, all of those things are just that much cleaner and feel so much better. It is a great product, and it's made right here in America, which is a plus for me, certainly. And they still have that big deal going on right now. When you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, they're going to give you for free a reverse osmosis drinking station. They'll install it right there at your kitchen sink, make it match up with all the rest of the stuff that you have there in your kitchen. Simply means for you no longer have to buy bottled water for your house. You don't have to because you have it right there at your kitchen sink. So you don't have to deal with lugging that water in or worry about where all those plastic bottles are going when they're empty. You've got it right there. Just fill up a glass and go to town. Plus, they've still got the free money for you. 0% interest for 12 months. It is an incredible deal. Treat yourself, treat your family, treat your home to the absolute best in the business. That is a Connecticut quality water softener. 656 Pure is the number, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure, Connecticut.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. Or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kohl's Father's Day gifts are so good, Dad won't be able to stop bragging about them. To his friends, to his barber, to the server who did not ask. He'll even brag to you, the person who literally bought it for him. From comfy polos to stylish shoes and more, plus 20% off across the store. Get gifts Dad'll be talking about for months at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. You've been warned. Select styles. Offer ends June 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hello. My name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car-truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. Do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Watch every Team USA World Cup match at Social Spot. Enjoy great screens, great food, snacks, ice-cold beer, and the best World Cup atmosphere in San Antonio. Join the party at 930 Broadway. Social Spot and San Antonio Sports Star, your headquarters for the 2026 World Cup watch parties.
1969, one giant leap.
The Eagle has landed.
And millions of Americans didn't just watch it, they heard it.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Echoed across radios everywhere. In that moment, we were all connected. 250 years of dreaming big, and the sound that brings us there.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, basketball season's over. You know what? One thing will make us feel better. Football. Let's start talking it, baby.
Football, baby. OTA's around the corner. Is Pickens ready to go? We're talking the Cowboy defense, too. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I hope no trouble's finding y'all out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. We appreciate you stopping by here and spending a little time with us on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Joe Reinagle. That young man over there is Jason Minix, and we're happy to have you along.
That we are. Welcome back from vacation.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. It's good to be back, kind of. You know how it is. You know, I was happy to be back. We got back Saturday evening, and I was happy to be back yesterday as I was recovering. And now it's like, damn, when are we going back?
It's time to drink again.
Yes.
Is it?
Well, no, not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Not quite. Not quite. Dude, I think I tried to drink everything they had at that resort.
Trust me, I saw your text messages.
Dude, and some of the videos I shot, maybe I shouldn't have. And the boss wanted them, you know, so...
Yeah.
I'm a company guy.
Uh-huh.
Especially after that Game 4 disaster. Jeez. Yeah, because I was drinking heavily in the second half as I watched that lead just disappear. Craziness.
We all were.
Yes.
We all were. Lots of comments on our YouTube page about the Spurs. You can comment there as well. Get to YouTube through sasportstar.com, or you can... if you're on YouTube, search San Antonio Sports Star. As it's been reminded more than once on our feed, if you bought furniture from Bob Mills, it's not free.
Sorry, Minix.
The good news is, think about the money you're saving on championship stuff. And the way technology works, why am I getting ads to buy Knicks championship gear? Or that really is
You obviously
insulting.
have been looking at it, Jason, so it's your own fault.
No, I have not looked at any of the Knicks.
Uh-huh.
Now, that Spurs final stuff is already 25% off. So if you waited to buy your shirt, you could save 25% now.
Now, don't you wish you'd have bought a Western Conference champion shirt?
No.
No?
No, because I would never wear it.
Okay.
I did this morning at 25% off. Antigua had their polos. They had the finals logo in the year and the Spurs logo.
Yeah.
I bought one of those.
Oh, nice.
You know, it was 80-something, and, you know, I don't know how they do their math, but the 25% off and then the veteran discount that you get, and then the 10% that they added on for signing up for the emails, which I've already unsubscribed to, it was like $40.
Oh, well, nice. What website was this?
The Antigua. You know,
Antigua,
the shirt.
Yeah. Well, the shirt that I bought at Academy's in Antigua.
Yeah. Yeah, you paid double.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I paid.
Yeah,
but so I was getting chastised by folks here on our YouTube page and other places for not having a Spurs polo.
Well, it is kind of embarrassing that you didn't have
it's really
at least
not.
one Spurs shirt somewhere.
Well, now I do.
I mean, you claim to not be a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, but you own 87 shirts with the Cowboys logo on it.
Not all of them. I've got. Well, every time I go to the Cowboys training camp, it's a souvenir.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It's kind of like going to the finals game. It's a souvenir.
Well, exactly. I'll tell you what I did like before you go to the phone calls. That Rue Pub Rockport shirt.
Yeah.
Outstanding for the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Pack mine for
Yeah, you really should.
Well, it's a perfect beach shirt.
Actually shot a video in that thing.
We all saw that.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of shooting videos on our San Antonio Sports Star socials at SA Sports Star, I've got a video up today about off-season moves. And go in there and comment on what you think the Spurs need to target. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's go to the phones. Michael, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. Joe, I had called last week with two topics Jason and I discussed. One of them was the roster construction and clearly the GM and the coach not having really a plan with the team going to the finals. Lo and behold, the talent was enough to carry us there. And we saw how that shook out. The other topic I had is about what is going on in our halftime, what's going on in our locker room, which the rest is history now. Clearly there's something going on with the coaching specific to that issue, blowing humongously up to the point of creating an NBA highlight for it. But I want to take off my bootleg final Spurs gear and put a GM hat on here for a second because I think that is another item that we really need to start as fans looking at, and that's really the performance of Brian Wright. And just to kind of list things off and to go through this call quick, since 2019 in the first round, he's drafted Lucas Samanich, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Josh Primo, Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, which the indictment here is those selections are partly what put this team in the position that they are in terms of their roster construction. And I think that we will have a lot foremost as we step into next season with the draft next week. If this team has learned anything, an opportunity that we have in order to really shore up our front court going into next season. At the 20, we could have Morris Johnson Jr. or Chris Sennick Jr. at that selection. It looks like that's the way this draft is going to shake out. And at 35, if Terrace Reed Jr. is there for us, 6'10", 260 pounds inside, a guy who's over 60% around the hoop, who, when I watched the NCAA tournament, that is a guy that perpetually impressed me with his ability to play against, NBA lottery talent between the Michigans and the Arizonas and whoever else. And I feel like if we end up seeing something like at the 20, what is going to scare me about Brian Wright? I'm seeing a lot of penciling in with this Kareem Lopez out of Mexico. And does this team make a decision to pick the first Mexican player in the first round or something who, as far as his draft scope, is a developmental player with a ceiling of being a poor man's Jimmy Butler? If that's what we use on a 20 pick in this upcoming draft, I will be really, really disappointed about what the future of this team will be. And I'm really concerned about where we will be going the next several years between this coach and the GM. Thanks for taking my call.
Michael, thanks, Michael.
A couple of things. Brian Wright just had a team way ahead of schedule get to the NBA Finals. Now, you go through the laundry list of his drafts, and there are some clear misses in there. But this changed. This team took a big-time change of direction on how this team was going to be built when they won the draft lottery and brought in Victor. So all the draft picks prior to Wemby. Now, there's some questionable ones. We scratched our heads about Sohan initially, and, you look at Malachi Branham and some of those mid-teen guards that they took. But everything that they had built up until they got Wemby, you push that aside because everything changed directions when you got Victor, and whatever their plans were completely scrapped because now you were building everything around Wemby. And, Primo, we all know
Horrible
why Primo
pick.
Isn't there.
Not because of what he did. What are you doing drafting that guy? Him and Jeremy Sohan might be, and Samanich might be the worst. And all I'm going to say is, look, to Michael's point, and you could say this, Wemby was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I could have made that pick.
We all could have.
Right? So, that has nothing to do with anything. Then you've got Dylan Harper, who was clearly the second best player in the draft. Some people may say he was the best. But you had Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. Another no-brainer for Brian Wright. What I hate is Bismack Biyombo. All right? Mason Plumlee, Kelly Olynyk. Why bring those guys in if they're not going to see the floor?
Well, I mean,
what do they practice bodies?
Kind of. I mean, every team.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Every team has about 5 guys on the roster that never see the floor, and
most of them are rookies that haven't played, and not guys that. I mean, even Biyombo, he comes in for that one game to be an enforcer. I mean, they clearly needed somebody underneath. Mitchell Robinson just destroyed Wemby in Game 5. He just pushed him around like he was a rag doll. And, I mean, the Spurs, that's why they need somebody. But obviously Biyombo's not that, and neither is Plumlee. So I see Michael's point. I'm not completely putting this on Brian Wright, but he's got to take some of the blame for some really poor decisions.
I 100% agree with this roster was not designed to be in the NBA Finals this year. And we talked about that throughout the season at the trade deadline. How good are they? They didn't make any move. I don't think the front office believed they would be there. And as much as we all hate it, they always talk about not skipping steps. Well, and we know the Spurs aren't going to bring in high-dollar contracts until it's time. Well, you know what? It's time. And they got to the finals. They're expected to win the finals next year. That's why this offseason really is going to be interesting to watch from how does Brian Wright operate now with expectations of success a part of the equation. Up until then, it was showing improvement. And Brian Wright is the GM. We know Pop and RC are still heavily involved, as is that coaching staff. But this roster, this was designed to be a playoff team this year. It was Wemby that said at training camp that the goal was to be an actual playoff team, so be at least the 6th seed and get that playoff experience. And then you look ahead. I mean, we did shows in October and September about this year is the year of growth, and next offseason is where you're eyeing this or that. Remember all the Lauri Markkanen talk, and would they do it? And, well, it's too soon, and the contracts. Can you imagine
if he was here? That would be great.
God. I mean, and that's where I'm like, I think Brian Wright has not done an awful job.
Not awful.
Mean, and every GM has questionable picks, and some guys just don't work out. You look at the Lucas Sandwich pick. They also got Keldon Johnson in that draft. Devin Vassell, we questioned him a lot the last couple of years. This year, it looks like that guy finally bought into what his new role is on this team.
And he was one of their best performers in the playoffs.
Yep.
He was. Keldon Johnson, we know he struggled in the playoffs, but he had a hell of a regular season. Look, there are hits and misses everywhere, but I think if that's the case, and that's why I don't understand not skipping steps to some extent. When you have a player the quality of a Victor Wembanyama, and you're saying, well, we're going to wait another year. What do you wait till his 4th year, his 5th year, 6th year? I mean, you got to go. This is professional sports.
Yep.
This is what players want. I hate that. If you've got talent like you've got, and everybody says, the most incredible player on the planet, put some people around him and win now. I don't want to wait 2 more years, 3 more years. Let's go. And we saw what happened when you get some pairings around him. And I will credit him with the De'Aaron Fox, even though nobody likes De'Aaron Fox right now. That was a hell of a trade.
That was.
So I'll give Brian Wright a lot of credit for that one.
And again, we're, Mitch Johnson, his first year, gets to the NBA Finals, a finalist for Coach of the Year, and everybody wants him fired right now. I mean, again, we're now in the expectation business. The idea of not making it to the finals, not ending the year with a great parade is going to be disappointment. And it feels like we're back to what it was like from, 99 to really 10, 11, when the Spurs were the 1 seed and lost to Memphis as the 8 seed.
Right.
If Pop and RC would have blown that unit up then, we would have all been okay with it because it felt like that run was over. And then in 2012, they were back in the Western Conference Finals, up 2-0 on Oklahoma City, and they lose. 13, they're in the finals. 14, they win it again. I mean, 7 years between championships. Core teams don't stay together 7 years, yet the Spurs core went 7 years between titles, which is incredible. But if they would have broke that thing up in 2010, 2011, we all would have said, man, that was a great run. That was a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We're back now in that era where the expectation is competing for a championship every year, and I expect the front office to act as such.
I totally agree. And when you hear that, who gets the blame in every professional sport? The coach and the general manager.
Yep.
And that's going to continue to happen. Cowboy James, Sam, Bamsey, Mark, we see you there on the phone line. Stick around. We're going to get to your calls next when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online. Just go to mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. You don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding 410 with the Blitz.
Can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Ever tried answering emails with kids running through the house? Coldplay Cove is the better way to work and parent. A modern family space where you can grab coffee, work, recharge, and connect while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Built for families, rooted in community. Learn more at ColdplayCove.com.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable, and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hello, Connecticut. May I help you?
This is Bill Tyson. Is this my Connecticut Pro?
Yes, Mr. Tyson. What can I do for you?
Calling from Yellowstone National Park. Old Faithful just erupted and reminded me I didn't set the vacation bypass in my Connecticut water conditioner. Would you run over to my house and set it? I've hidden the key under my doormat.
Well,
I forgot to set the bypass last year. I had that other brand, and the software used up 4,000 pounds of salt in a week.
Mr. Tyson, relax. With your new Connecticut, there is no vacation cycle or any worries about salt. If you don't use any water, your Connecticut won't either. We not only believe in saving salt, but also in saving water.
Would you go over and unplug it then? I'm trying to conserve electricity.
You forget that your Connecticut doesn't use electricity either. There's nothing to plug in. And don't forget that your Connecticut is also completely automatic.
Mean I can relax and enjoy my whole vacation?
That's right.
This is great. I've got Old Faithful here at Yellowstone and an Old Faithful in my Connecticut water conditioner at home.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut SA.com.
License number 38961.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
This is Joel Frederick. From all of us at Quartermoon, thank you. Through the years and through the growth of this city, you've trusted us to be there when it matters most. For plumbing repairs, air conditioning repairs, new system installs, and so much more. Now, you're going to start seeing a new Quartermoon logo. It's a fresh look, but it reflects the same company we've always been. Rooted in hard work, family values, fair pricing, and caring for people the right way. Quartermoon Plumbing, AC, and Heating. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Spurs player and Trailblazers interim head coach Tiago Splitter has a new gig today. He's finalizing a deal to become the new head coach of the Chicago Bulls. Spurs fans, I hope this makes you feel better. Spurs are the betting favorites for next year's title at plus 250, followed by the Thunder, Celtics, and the Knicks. And the Texas Rangers back home, opening up a series with the Minnesota Twins. You can catch it right here on 94.1 at 6:30.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Doing it on a Monday here in San Antonio. It is after 5 o'clock. If you have just gotten off work, congrats. Your Monday's over. The weekend's that much closer, man. I mean, come on. Happy for you. Thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix.
Kind of feels like a Friday to me. That one-day work week I can get used to.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Not bad at all.
I wonder why the hell that I didn't take today off.
I'm wondering the same thing. In fact, wasn't sure whether you were coming or not because before I left, you told me you were going to work today, but I had kind of forgotten about that.
Well, I really thought there was going to be a Game 6.
Well, I did too. It was kind of hopeful.
I really
of that.
thought there was going to be, but
now you're all choked up about that. Oh my goodness.
I did not expect today to be the obituary day for the 26th season.
Yeah, well, it is. Although, they get knocked out on Saturday, and so we all have to stew on Sunday before we can get it off our chest.
Part of me is glad I didn't work yesterday.
Well, you're mad?
Yeah, I mean, not as mad as I was after they blew the 29-point lead. Because, now granted, I had a lot of beer. But I went to bed that night just kind of in disbelief. And I woke up angry that it actually happened, right? I mean, does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, I really thought there was going to be a Game 6. Went as a fan, took my daughter to that game, fully expecting the Spurs to win. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row at home.
Well, they hadn't lost 3. My bad. Go ahead with your story.
Yeah, and they did. But 3 in a row at home. And, again, the double-digit leads in all of them. Now, credit the Knicks. They battled back, and they made the plays when they had to make the plays. But to have leads in every game, double-digit leads at that, and lose a series 4-1, it's head-scratching. And, again, credit the Knicks. But at the same time, like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's funny because when I was off last week, I got a call from the fine folks at CBS Sports Radio and did an interview with them, and this was obviously before Game 3. And so the Spurs team, they don't lose 3 in a row. They haven't lost 3 in a row all year, and it turned out they didn't. They won that game. So, but yeah, to lose 3 in a row at home is very difficult to stomach. And I sure wish we were getting ready for that Game 6 in New York.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. Last week we got a lot of calls from New York. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten a lot of those same people that are tuning in today to hear the misery. But it was, from that was fun. And again, you can go very glass half full, although it might take a week or two to really reflect back on what an incredible, unexpected season this was from San Antonio, but still have the pain of losing in the NBA Finals, especially when, kind of like Wemby said, they dominated. And I appreciate Wemby when he said that to quickly say, but give the Knicks credit. It's not like, we're all in disbelief. It sounds silly to say the Spurs were the better team for the majority of the series. They led for 74% of the games, but they didn't lead when it mattered most. That's hard to stomach.
Well, it is hard to stomach, and they need to learn. That's lesson number 1 in my mind. They've got to learn how to close games. They got to learn how to hold leads and close games. And to me, a big part of that, just from watching this series, and not just this series, it's really all year. The Spurs are 3-point shooting hungry. I mean, that's what they do. And I just wonder if they can adjust. They'll take that away because that's what the NBA is now. But you got to be able to adjust, don't you? And we say the same thing about De'Aaron Fox when he's missing all the shots. Adjust. he's missing. He's missed 6 in a row. Maybe it's time to put him down. Maybe just for a couple of minutes, if nothing else. Let him think about it a little bit. Put somebody else in that is playing a little bit better at that time. And I think those are learning experiences, I think, for Mitch Johnson. And I hope he comes in with a game plan, depending on their personnel, because there will be some different players on this team, that you can switch that up and you're not so three-point dependent as this team is. Because if you go cold from three, a team can get right back in it, as we saw in 4 of the 5 games this year.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's go to the phone. Sam, you've been holding for about 41 minutes, man. Appreciate your patience.
Yeah,
You're on
Sam.
the Blitz.
What's up, guys? Yeah, still stewing over that finals loss. This is going to go down as the most mismanaged NBA Finals series of all time. Not only are you going to have the historic collapse in Game 4, but just the MO of having the double-digit leads, as you guys just mentioned right now, and blowing them time after time, not making the adjustments, and Brunson, after you saw the MO of the Knicks of the whole playoff stretch, it's just they did everything they can. Now, credit to the Knicks, as you said, but I think the Spurs did everything they did to put them in a position to hand them the game with their mismanagement. Mitch Johnson, now I'm not going to call for his job like some Spurs fans I know when I'm out. We're not going to go that far, but I think he just bungled this whole series. You would have thought after Game 1 they would have made the adjustments. Now, they got away with it in Game 3, but 4 of the 5 games, as you guys mentioned, double-digit leads. And what do the Knicks do better than any team in the playoffs? You allowed them to hang around because of your terrible shot selection, mismanagement of the clock, and that allowed a veteran-led team with a great closer in Brunson to rip those games away from you in the end. So this is hopefully a learning experience for Mitch Johnson. It can't not happen, understandably. It can never not happen again next season. And I think it's going to be a critical offseason for Brian Wright. Now, he's got 3 core. We know our 3 core guys are going to be Wemby, Castle, and Harper going forward. So he's got to make a move. I think he will, upgrading around our 3 core guys. And I think they're going to be right in position. Luckily, our guys are young. But let's not just think that just because we're young, the Spurs are going to be back in title mode next season. It's this new era of NBA. I don't think there's going to be any more dynasties going forward with the CBA the way it is. So we know that OKC's a heavy hitter, but as we've seen, anybody can beat anybody in every series depending on the matchup. So Spurs Nation, I hope they wear this one, and hopefully these guys will stew on it this whole offseason and be back next year when Brian Wright work his magic this offseason to upgrade around the 3 court to get us over the top next season. Hopefully we'll be celebrating a title next June in River Rock instead of pissed off and upset we choked away another title. Thanks for the time, fellas.
Appreciate it, Sam. Good call, man. See, Sam's got to feel better now.
Get it off your chest.
He got it off his chest, and look, a lot of what he said, I'll agree with, and it's just it's interesting. We're getting a lot of great comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page as well. So either way, if you want to get this off your chest, you still got some time to do that. 656-3776, or go to the sasportstar.com. You can get to San Antonio Sports Star, our YouTube page.
It is interesting, and there are no titles guaranteed. But this Spurs team is going to be in the mix every year. Tim Duncan never went back-to-back. Always the knock on that group.
Yep.
But the reality is they were always in the mix. And this team now is always going to be in the mix. The next 5, 6, 8, 10 years, we know that the Spurs are going to be in the mix. Joe and I know we're not going to book vacations in June for the next decade.
Yes,
right?
That is true.
And we did this year because we didn't expect this Spurs team, and neither did you. Nobody thought this team would make a run. And I'm back and forth defending guys and mad at them at the same time. Like a De'Aaron Fox. I know that guy's playing hurt, but you can't have those mistakes. Mitch Johnson in his rookie year, and I'm mad at him. I don't think he coached very well in this series. But at the same time, it wasn't Mitch Johnson that got a rebound and then threw the pass off a teammate's back. That was Victor. It wasn't Mitch Johnson who didn't dribble off the clock and get fouled and take more time off the clock. That was the veteran De'Aaron Fox, who then also had a bad pass or didn't box out. There's a lot of reasons to be mad at Mitch Johnson in this series, but in the moment, his team was in position to win, and those players did not make the right decision. That's not on the coach to a degree. I mean, what De'Aaron Fox made mistakes that you learn in middle school how to end a game. And, all the threes, I'm mad at Mitch for all that. There was call a timeout, do some of that stuff. But a lot of the reason, and now blown leads, to me, I always put on the coach. So I know I'm a little conflicted as I say this. I don't want to sound hypocritical. You've got a double-digit lead late in the game and lose, I put that squarely on the coach. But at the same time, Spurs just made mental mistakes, either not getting a rebound or turning the ball over or just flat-out missing shots. If those couple of things happen in each one of those games down the stretch, we're talking about Mitch Johnson as a genius and winning a title as a rookie. For the people that want him fired, you guys are crazy.
He's not going anywhere, and he'll learn from this just like Wemby's going to learn from this, and Devin Vassell and Dylan Harper. And it's funny that we give those guys a break. Oh, they're young. They're going to learn. They're going to learn. This is Mitch Johnson's first opportunity, and while it wasn't good, I want to know who was. I mean, honestly, especially in Game 5, Dylan Harper. That's it. Even Wemby was 3 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
From your star player. That can never happen. 3 points in the fourth quarter while Jalen Brunson is just torching everybody. Crazy.
Yep.
Let's take a break. If you've got a phone line, stay there. We see you, Bamsey Mark, Cowboy James. We'll finish up our calls there. We got Mellow Mushroom. We got a $50 gift card to give away to Mellow Mushroom. We got to do that when we clear the phone lines, Pledge. So we'll do that, but don't clear them now. I want to hear from Bamsey Mark. I want to hear from Cowboy James, and we'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday. On-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, they have everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
The Morning Huddle.
Come to find out, it's a bar for people that play on the other team.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong team to be in that bar.
Is there any thought that, maybe in a different timeline you could possibly be on that team?
Well, it wasn't just me. It was our whole group, and I thought about it because looking at myself, I would me. I mean, look at me. Just look at me. Look at this. You telling me I couldn't get a drink or two? You couldn't. You know this?
Did anybody buy you a drink?
I have my cape on, and I come up to the bar asking him, would you? Would you?
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, I would.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. 1-800 or alawyer4us.com.
Looking for your new favorite spot in Stone Oak? Head to Doghouse Beer Garden for the best gourmet all-beef hot dogs, handcrafted sausages, and premium smash burgers, all on grilled King's Hawaiian rolls. And check out their brand new menu. Watch all the games at Doghouse Beer Garden, Stone Oak. It's a full-service bar and grill with 24 rotating craft beers on draft, plus wine and signature cocktails. Open late for summer at Stone Oak Parkway in 281. See for yourself why this is where being in the Doghouse is fun. The Doghouse Beer Garden in Stone Oak.
Attention soccer fans. House of Cards and Collectibles on Vance Jackson has the 2026 Panini Prism FIFA Soccer Card Packs in stock. Pull cards from Mbappe, Messi, Kane, Bellingham, and many more. Find autographs and serial numbered cards randomly inserted. House of Cards and Collectibles also has FIFA World Cup sticker albums and packs. Come in today before they're all gone. House of Cards and Collectibles at 2105 Vance Jackson Road.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive, and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done, fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size, fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This World Cup update on San Antonio Sports Star is brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is your home to soccer's biggest event in the world. Get all your updates live on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. And get to Twin Peaks to catch your favorite matchups paired with daily goal-worthy specials. Twin Peaks is your home for the world's biggest soccer event.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by Henkel, official partner of U.S. Soccer. The action kicked off today with a stunner in Group H as Cape Verde made their tournament debut, holding defending European champion Spain to a scoreless draw in Atlanta. Columbus Crew defender and Cape Verde international Steven Moreira says the squad had the right mindset heading in.
Honestly, I don't realize for the moment what we did against Spain. I'm just proud of my country, of my teammates, of my family. That's it.
Goalkeeper Vozinha was the star in this one. The 40-year-old had 7 saves to preserve the point for Cape Verde. In Seattle, Belgium and Egypt played out a 1-1 draw in Group G. Imam Ashour scored the opener in the 20th. The Belgian equalizer came in the 66th minute, officially ruled an own goal. Kicking off right now in Group H, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay face off in Miami. I'm Lucas Panzica, Westwood One Sport.
Gear up for the games this summer. Henkel's Summer of Soccer Sweepstakes is giving fans the chance to win the new 2026 U.S. Men's National Team jersey and U.S. Soccer Store gift cards. Everything you need to show up and support the home team, so don't miss out. No purchase necessary. Starts May 16th and ends June 15th, 2026. Must be 18 and a resident of the contiguous United States. Visit HenkelSoccerSweeps.com for official rules. Sponsored by Henkel. Henkel, proud partner of U.S. Soccer.
O'Reilly. Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with our limited edition O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner while supplies last at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 2 cans for $8. Our professional parts people can recommend all the parts and supplies you need for your brake job. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Boy, Minix, I tell you what, I'm just looking back at the box score. Spurs were outscored by 11 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And 15 of those came from Jalen Brunson. What a game. I mean, it's hard. I can't dog Jalen Brunson. I mean, the guy put on a spectacular performance, maybe one of the best that I've seen in a fourth quarter, or the whole thing for that matter. 45 points in a Game 5 closeout game. He was spectacular.
And Brunson was. And Brunson shooting percentage wasn't all that great throughout the series, but in the fourth quarters it mattered most. And he played great. You know, I don't have all of them. I think the Spurs were outscored 29 or something. I don't have it in front of me. In every fourth quarter, right? And again, they lose 2 games by 1. They lose another game by 4. They had double-digit leads in all of them, which is why, you know, when Wemby said, you know, we kind of dominated the series, and I know he's taken a lot of heat for that, but, I mean, you dominate the series, you feel like you should win, but I think he clarified correctly.
One of many things I learned is the margin of error is very, very thin. Our domination stints are absolute. We absolutely dominated for most of the series. But our errors, our mistakes, are punished so hard that we can't have ups and downs like this so much, you know. The ups are okay, the downs, it's the reason we lost.
And I know he's getting hammered because you see so many people clipping the, you know, we dominated. The fact that he says we were punished for our mistakes at the end, I think makes it a very true and accurate statement. It just pisses me off as a Spur fan and as a fan of Victor that the entire quote isn't being put out there. The Spurs led, it's a fact, 74% of the series. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. They did dominate, but as Wemby said, they were punished for their mistakes, and that's why they lost the game. I think that is a fair statement from Victor.
I think it's a fair statement, but to me, it's and this has nothing to do with Wemby, but that stat makes this loss more embarrassing than it should be. I mean, think about that. 74% of the time, you've got the lead.
72%.
Okay, 72%.
Just looked it up. My mistake.
Either way, doesn't make it any less embarrassing in my mind. But again, it's that 29-point choke job is just the one that is going to stick with me for a long time.
Well, forever. I mean, think about it. In Game 1, they were up 14 and lost.
Yeah.
Game 2, they were up 12 and lost. Game 3, they were up 12 and won. Game 4, they were up 29 and lost. Game 5, they were up as many as 16. They had double-digit leads 3 different times
they did.
In Game 5, and they lost. Credit the Knicks, but Wemby's right. They dominated parts of the series. And
most of the series.
And you know, and I know the Cleveland coach gets hammered for what he said about the analytics and all that. And again, when we went back and listened to the question, okay, this answer is still kind of dumb but makes sense, because he was asked what gives you confidence, and you only heard the answer. Well, analytically, I think Wemby, the difference from what Wemby is saying is, yep, we dominated, but we were punished by our mistakes, and a lot of the national people aren't playing the entire clip.
Which is why you have to play nearly perfect basketball. I know there's not such a thing. Basketball's a game of mistakes. It is. But you got to take advantage of the other guys the way they took advantage of yours. And again, I have no other way to go, Jason, than to say that was the inexperience we've been talking about the entire playoff series. This team just did not know how to close out games, and they paid for it. It's crazy. Let's go back to the phone lines because Bamsey Mark and Cowboy James been hanging on a while.
Let's see. Bamsey Mark, you're up, man. You're on the Blitz.
Hey, what's going on, Jason? Okay, I was at the game on Saturday. It was embarrassing. There was Knicks fans everywhere. I don't know how it was on TV. I didn't watch it. I recorded it, but I don't know if you could hear. There was fans. It was terrible. But the bad part was during the national anthem, they interrupted the national anthem cheering for the dang Knicks. Now, if you can't respect the flag, that's why people hate the Knicks fans, because they're all about themselves. But the Spurs overachieved. We enjoyed the game. Me and my son, we usually don't go to finals playoff games. I got greedy and sold the tickets. That's why I couldn't get them. But my son did me a favor, and he got a half season planned for us in Section 132. So I'll be at some games next year too. So
good stuff, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Bam.
Appreciate it. From Bamsey Mark to Cowboy James. What's up, man? You're on the Blitz.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you?
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just want to quickly say, disappointed but not mad. But as far as what I think the Spurs need, Jason had touched on it, and I think it was after Game 3 it became real evident. We need a big man that can spell Wemby for more than 2 minutes. Yeah. I know the next game Cornette played about 8 minutes, but we definitely need a big man that can spell Wemby for more than 2 minutes. We also need a consistent 35, 37% three-point shooter. And also, you guys said there's 3 untradables. I want to tend to lean toward 4 untradables, including Devin Vassell in that. And as far as Fox, I know his price tag is he shouldn't come off the bench. And I think that if they talked to Harper, I know he said he's talked to Manu's talked to him. I think we can get him to embrace that role, if him knowing that, hey, the 48 minutes, I'm going to play 38 minutes, 42 minutes. Fox may start the game, but that don't mean Fox has to finish the game.
You're right. You're right about that, Cowboy James. And again, those are things that the Spurs front office are going to have to work out. And again, the idea of the untouchables. And I know at the beginning of the year, I thought the Spurs had 1 in Victor. Now I think they have 3. I don't want to get rid of Devin Vassell. I think he was fantastic this year. You've heard me consistently say throughout the year, he's been one of the bright spots because he finally accepted his role on this team, that he was no longer the best player. When he got here, he was. And now I don't know if he's the 4th best player. But they all can't be untouchable. If you are going to make a move to bring in somebody that can take this team from making it to the NBA Finals but not closing the deal to finding that player that can get them over the top, it's going to cost you something that you don't want to get rid of. And if that's Devin Vassell or if that's Keldon Johnson, then you got to part ways with them. That big man that you want there with Wemby or that 3-and-D guy or whatever it might be. I'm not saying I want Devin Vassell gone. I'm so pissed off. Get him out of here. Trade him for a bag of chips. That's not at all what I'm saying. But you're not going to be able to, get that kind of player for a Riley Minix and a Harrison Ingram. It might cost you a Devin Vassell.
Damn it. I had a trade worked out for OG Anunoby, man. Those 2 guys.
Look, throw in a David Jones-Garcia and Brian Wright wins Executive of the Year right away.
Absolutely.
I am not saying I want to trade Devin Vassell. I'm just saying everybody on this roster, not named Victor, Dylan, or Stefan, are tradable. Every one of them, to me, are the only 3 untouchables.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Brian Wright does and what kind of moves they pull off. They've got to tweak this team. And I mentioned OG Anunoby, a guy like that on this team. I just don't think they have that guy. And when you look at what happened with Cat in Game 6, getting into foul trouble the way he did, Mitchell Robinson came in, and another guy can't shoot. He can't score except when he gets an offensive rebound. Damn sure can't shoot free throws, but boy, he can rebound like a madman.
Yep.
And he was pushing Wemby around. And that's the other thing. And a lot of people have said this, and I don't know if it's even possible, but I'd like to see it happen. Wemby needs to put some size on.
Sure.
And I'm obviously not talking about height.
Well, he could use a couple more.
Well, he can. Robinson was pushing that guy around like he was nothing. And Robinson, obviously, is a big man. But still, I just think you need somebody down there, and Wemby's got to develop an offense. I mean, am I wrong? What is Wemby's go-to?
He doesn't have the signature shot. There was some talk last week about him working on a Kareem-like skyhook. And apparently he's working on it, but it ain't ready.
I'm sure.
If he had that, but again, playing down low. But again, I did this the other day. I looked at some video from his rookie year versus what we saw in the finals.
Uh-huh.
And he has added to that frame. He looks different. It's not necessarily noticeable just because he's so tall and skinny, but he's never going to be Shaquille O'Neal size.
No.
And you almost don't want him to be. But even when you go back and you look at what Giannis was like when he showed up in the NBA to what Giannis is like now, and imagine what he's going to be like when he ends up on South Beach, playing for Miami. The idea, though, that he's 22, I mean, still growing, still developing, and he knows now that he needs to figure out stamina for 100 games, not 80.
Well, you better plan on a long run, I would assume. Oklahoma City's going to get better. They've got a lot of draft capital. The Spurs have to match that.
Screw it.
Well, they got to do something. And just to see Wemby getting hammered down low, there was one play, and it was a key rebound.
Uh-huh.
And Robinson goes up and grabs it between two Spurs. Wemby's arms aren't even up. He's holding Robinson. And it's because he doesn't want to get knocked around.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. With a guy like that, I understand you don't want to play down low. I get it. I understand. You're going to get banged around. But you're 7'4", man. And your arm length, you're 12 feet tall. You've got to develop at least some of that, don't you? I mean, it just seems to me if you don't,
yeah. No,
you have to. He plays down low on defense and obviously blocks everybody's shot.
He's got to learn that on the offensive end.
He's got to.
Now, Jeff over at Doghouse Beer Garden, where we did the show last week when you were out.
Yeah.
He just texted Nas Reed. Now, that'd be hilarious to go out and bring in a Nas Reed.
But that's
the kind of guy that the Spurs need.
That is a damn good point. And Nas Reed has been talked about in San Antonio before.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely has been interested in him. And everybody laughs at Lauri Markkanen. And I know he's expensive, and that probably prices the Spurs out of that with what they've got to pay. But can you imagine?
Pledge would be humping his leg every day.
Well, dude, I think I'd be on the other leg. I'm just saying, I mean, that kind of a combination, can you imagine? Mm-hmm. It'd be unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable.
You on one leg and Pledge on another is a combination I don't ever want to think about.
I'm just saying. I mean, a guy, they need some size and they need some help, and we'll see what happens this offseason. Looking forward to it. And obviously we'll talk a lot more about that throughout the week as to what they've got to do. Right now, though, we got to take a break. We'll talk more Spurs basketball. And Spurs fans, you're crazy. Some of you. We'll tell you why when we continue here on the Blitz at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you about Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number for Quartermoon. You got a plumbing issue, you've got problems with your AC, Quartermoon is the best. Great in emergency situations, but they're great at everything that they do. Maintenance programs and figuring out how to solve your problems. And apparently, a problem in San Antonio has been houses that don't smell right. They've created the Breathe Easy package. What they're going to do is come in and basically give your AC unit a solid deep cleaning. The blower motor, blower wheel, the AC housing, the coil, disinfect the inside of your AC cabinet, then install a UV light that will zap bacteria and other stuff that's in your unit. You will get cleaner air, a fresher home, and everything smelling the way it's supposed to be. So if your house smells a little bit off, call Quartermoon, 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CASH to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CASH. To borrow up to $10,000, use code CASH to borrow up to $10,000.
This Father's Day, join the Blitz live at Coldplay Cove in Stone Oak. Enjoy Dad and Me sports activities, coffee tastings, giveaways, raffles, and family fun built for modern families. Grab your tickets now through the events page at coldplaycove.com.
Some days, self-care starts with Nature-Made gummy vitamins, a deep breath, and a little encouragement.
Mom, I'm really nervous.
Me too, honey, but we've got this. Repeat after me. I'm gonna have a good day.
I'm going to have a good day.
I choose joy no matter what comes my way.
I bring joy wherever I go.
Quality gummy vitamins from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, basketball season's over. You know what? One thing will make us feel better. Football. Let's start talking it, baby.
Football, baby. OTAs around the corner. Is Pickens ready to go? We're talking the Cowboy defense, too. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know what we got to do, Minix? Before we run out of time.
What?
We got a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
Well, there goes my dinner plans.
Well, you should go to Mellow Mushroom for dinner.
Well, I am, but I was just going to take that $50 gift card.
Oh.
Son of a... let's give it away.
Why not? They've been good folks, and they feel bad. We're going to make somebody else feel better.
Yes.
About their Monday. $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom on this Mellow Monday. Caller number what, Minix?
Well, since the Knicks snapped a 53-year drought in 5 games, we'll give it to caller number 5.
656-3776, 656-ESPN. Caller number 5. You're going to walk away with a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Good luck to everybody that's out there. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and this is The Blitz.
Now, I have not heard this. Joe has not heard this.
Mm-hmm.
Pledge just sent it to us. Somebody really called the cops on De'Aaron Fox?
San Antonio Police Department, this is Crystal. How may I help you?
Yes. I have suspicion of a crime being committed.
Okay, right now, or?
Just a suspicion. I'm not sure when. Well, maybe, I think in the past.
In the past?
Like, not far, just a few days.
What's going on?
So, there's somebody employed by the San Antonio Spurs, and he goes by the name De'Aaron Fox. And he has been committed acts of terrorism for 5 games straight, and he plans on stealing $229 million. And I think we should
stop him. It's not a police matter.
Who do you think I should contact for that?
I don't know, maybe the Spurs.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right, you too then. I'm doing this for y'all. This is not for me, it's for y'all.
You know, I don't know if that's real or not, but...
It's not.
Okay, well...
It's funny, though.
It is funny. And I think a lot of Spurs fans would like to call the cops on De'Aaron Fox.
I don't know that I'm at the point that he's stealing money.
Nah.
And he played hurt. And again, I know I don't mean to sound hypocritical. But I'm angry. And I want to defend De'Aaron Fox playing through a high ankle sprain, because as soon as we heard it was high ankle, we all know that's 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, easy.
And so I didn't expect him at all in the Oklahoma City series. We don't win the Oklahoma City series without De'Aaron Fox. You know, the same thing, as angry as I am at Mitch Johnson right now, that dude did a hell of a job. And when they announced that Mitch Johnson was getting elevated, I wasn't happy. I don't know Mitch Johnson. I don't know. I saw what he did as an interim coach, and I don't know that I saw enough as an interim for him to get the lead job, but he proved us all wrong. He is the right guy for the job. Did he make mistakes during the NBA Finals? He did. But he was also coaching in the NBA Finals. And so when you look at it, like, I can be angry with somebody but not want them gone, right? I can be disappointed in the moment, but proud of what this team accomplished throughout the year. And, you know, there's a great video rolling around social media. I have no idea who put it together, but it was one of those thank you Spurs videos about bringing the city together. And you see videos from the various watch parties. And I know Rupa put one together, because the Rupa was so awesome to be at for all the games that I was at watching there, just the atmosphere as crowded as it was. And it did. It brought this city together like we haven't seen in a long time. This was a fun, unexpected run that ends in disappointment.
Yeah, it does. And I think that's what people, we react to stuff like that. De'Aaron Fox, again, was a big reason why the Spurs are in the situation that they're in, and will be a big reason for their success next year. And the fact that he didn't have time to fully recover from a high ankle sprain is a big part of it. I just wish at that point in time is where I have a critique of Mitch Johnson. If he was hurt, if it was affecting his play, then take him out of there.
Yep.
And when he misses 6 shots in a row, maybe you want to try something else. But again, if we're gonna let Steph Castle and Wemby off the hook, you got to let Mitch Johnson off the hook, all right? Because it was his first 2. And then De'Aaron Fox, again, should get a little credit for what he did to get the Spurs as far as they are. And he's stuck, and we're stuck with him. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
But at the same time, De'Aaron Fox, being a veteran guy, is the last one you expect to have a brain fart at the end of a game and make basketball decisions the way he made. I got to believe his basketball IQ is far higher than what was on display in the NBA Finals. And then you get a tweet like this one from Chris Rackley, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. Maybe Mitch needs to stop coaching using analytics. Analytics are ruining sports. Basketball isn't a complicated sport. Go back to old school coaching, especially with a young team.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I agree with you too, except for analytics are a reason why the Spurs are in the NBA Finals. I mean, it's not like we're back at 40 wins, which was kind of the expectation this year. Between 40 and 45 wins, maybe 50, be a 6 seed. So it's hard. And again, right now it's still too raw to really sit back and say, man, that was a hell of a run. You know, the glass is half full, but are you looking at it as half full or half empty? And at some point, I think even if you're looking at it half empty, at some point you're going to realize it's half full, and it's step one. And knowing that 10 teams, 10, have lost in the finals one year and the next year hoisted the trophy, that should give you a lot of confidence. And the last team to do it, the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, and again, though, there's got to be some tweaks. Because, look, even during the 20-year dynasty of the Spurs, there always was. And Pop and R.C. Buford would bring in players that would play a role. And they wouldn't rely solely on draft picks. They would bring in free agents. Robert Horry comes to mind. Mario Elie comes to mind.
Steve Kerr.
The Rifleman. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And so those are the kind of moves that I hope the Spurs make. Guys that could come in here and play right away and contribute right away. And so we'll see what they do. But the draft picks that they have, unless they make a move up the ladder somehow, some way, I just don't see them contributing next year. And so the Spurs have got to go out and go shopping in the free agent market. Saw something here from Legion Hoops. It's been reposted by a guy that I trust, and I haven't heard it, so it's just titled "Jalen Brunson's Toast at the Knicks team party last night." F. Wemby.
Yep.
And would you blame him? I mean, Wemby's toast might have been like that if he drinks. F.
Well, look, I mean,
Brunson.
Look, Wemby's perception globally changed. He went from being this likable young guy to maybe the villain, a bad guy, a little bit of a dirty player. I mean, all of that is fair. You know, I'm sure some of the interviews you did across the country in the last week, kind of like mine, when people ask, you know, Wemby being the most unlikable player in the series, you know, and you know, and the one that I did where that first came up, you know, what's not to like about Jalen Brunson? What's not like about OG? When you look at the Knicks players, Karl-Anthony Towns, there's not an unlikable dude on there. And with some of Wemby's comments, especially if you haven't heard him talk a lot, and the way they get clipped up, and then some of his actions on the floor this postseason does, in a lot of ways, change the narrative around him.
I think for a lot of the country it has.
I mean,
honestly, it's not going to change here in San Antonio.
No.
But around the country, I think Wemby during this final series has gone from the golden child to, in many circles, the villain. And again, you hit it on the head earlier, and a lot of folks have talked about this. Heading into a Game 6, had the Spurs been fortunate enough to do that, I'm not sure Wemby would be in uniform.
Nope.
Because of, I sincerely believe the NBA was going to look at that Jalen Brunson 3 where he stepped on Wemby's foot. They would have changed that to a flagrant foul. And I said it at the time, the Spurs were fortunate that there wasn't a call there. And the Knicks were hot. Boy, they were hot about that. And so, I mean, that could have happened. But what do you have, 4 flagrant fouls in this series?
Who, Wemby?
Multiple, yes.
No, he had the one.
During the playoffs.
Yeah, he had the 4, flagrant 2, got him the that was the difference because the one was the flagrant 2. So on that point system, he was dangerously close. But that's why the first one in New York, they knew they weren't going to assess him that because the last thing the league wanted to do was suspend Victor in that moment.
Well, I guarantee you they would have had to, or the place would have gone nuts. I mean, it was just Devin Vassell, and it was so impressive, and I don't know exactly what play it was, but Devin Vassell went out, somebody was taking a three-point shot, and he did it technique-wise exactly how you're supposed to do it. He turned sideways, came down, and ended up blocking the shot on the other end. But you've got to give that shooter a space to land. You have to. And Wemby's got to learn that, and in that particular play, he didn't. Spurs got away with it.
They did get away with it. Switch gears for a minute to close the show.
All right, let's switch.
Something non-Spurs.
Okay.
Not that we're going to hammer Texas Tech at all. Not at all for this Sorsby thing. But, you know, Texas Tech has a lot of money. Steve Sarkisian was on Up and Adams with Kim Adams today.
Yes.
And the way things are going in today's world of college athletics, Sark has a fear of something that could happen in Lubbock.
Well, really, how that came about, okay, and again, I probably could have said it better. I was talking about the inequities in college football. And one of the inequities in college football, which we touched on earlier, is strength of schedule and who your opponents are, and then the toll it takes on your team as you get ready for the playoffs. And, you know, that comment came out about, you know, it's one thing to play in another conference. It's another, who are you scheduling in your non-conference, and then ultimately getting into the playoffs. And so as I was at a somewhat of a donor function, you know, I was addressing it in a way, trying to be lighthearted, not thinking it would catch the wildfire the way that it did. But in reality, that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I know what our schedule looks like, and I know it's probably, if not the hardest, one of the most difficult schedules in the country. On the same note, you know, Texas Tech's got a really good football team. It was not a knock at Texas Tech. It was more looking at the schedule that they're playing. And I think people took it the wrong way, like I was trying to attack Tech's quality of the team they have. That wasn't. It was about their opponents. And really, their opponents should have been the ones that were trying to get mad at me, not Tech. But hey, to each their own. Sometimes you hurt people's feelings. That's okay. We're all big boys. We're going to be all right.
So they'll be on the schedule 20 to 30?
Well, we got to have to adjust some of our current schedule right now. It all sounds good. Joey was great about it. And I thought I wouldn't expect anything less from his response about changing our openers. How about we change our second game of the season, and maybe we got something to talk about.
I love it. Let me know if me and Patrick Mahomes can help. We can get in there, barter, negotiate, figure it out.
The way these injunctions are going, Pat Mahomes might be playing quarterback for Texas Tech again before Joey's done.
Oh, my goodness. Of course, talking about Brendan Sorsby and that whole situation at Texas Tech. Funny stuff.
And again, the idea of, the whole Texas schedule, Big 12, all of that. But then he also said something that should give Longhorn fans a little hope, although it might take about $50 million. Could Arch play beyond this season?
I will tell you, I would not be surprised. I think Arch really loves college football. I really do. I think he loves the University of Texas. He does pretty good through NIL. He's got some pretty good endorsements going right now, which is a credit to him and obviously the lineage of the last name and the brand of the University of Texas, all those things coming together. But again, on the same token, I won't be surprised if he declares and decides to go to the draft. But I think some of that is dependent upon, how we play as a team this fall, how he plays individually, knock on wood, injury-free football, things like that. But again, that's not our focus. Our focus is on getting ready for the season, getting ready for Texas State in week 1, and then Ohio State, then UTSA, then Tennessee, so on and so forth. So we haven't really had any dialogue about it. But to your point, I wouldn't be surprised. He loves college, and again, he's got some pretty good NIL stuff going for himself right now.
Well, again, if he's a first-round draft pick, but I think Stark hit it on the head. If a guy has a good season, he's going to the NFL.
Yep.
If it's subpar and Texas kind of falters, then maybe he does stick around. So I think it all depends on what happens during the season.
Yeah. It's crazy when you think about the dollars that some of these guys can get by staying in college. But I think Arch is gone. And it might have more to do with who's got that first-round pick.
That could have a lot to do with it. Remember
that first overall pick.
His uncle didn't want to go to San Diego. Ended up being a New York Giant. So you never know what's going on in that Manning family. Minix, hope you have a great week, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy yourself.
I'm on vacation.
Extra innings with pleasure. That's coming up next. Be sure and join the fellas in the morning. AJ and Rob, they'll get you started at 6 a.m., and I'll be back here with you. Hope you're with me. 2 o'clock here on The Blitz. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Riding home with The Blitz. Afternoon